So Merlin, what can we say about Virgo? What are the first things someone needs to know about Virgo?
I mean, would you like to talk? Oh, hold on. The sound's doubling for me.
Oh
That's my
shit.
bad. Okay. I had the stream going in another tab. First thing about Virgo, are we talking thematically, like as a symbol in the sky, or as a personal
Mhm.
archetype? Do you think? Where do you want to start?
Basics. What number sign is it? What number is Virgo?
Virgo is the sixth sign of the zodiac. Virgo is an earth sign, and Virgo is what's called a common or mutable sign. And all common or mutable signs are about the change of the seasons. So Gemini is like spring into summer, and Virgo is summer into fall. So the beginning of Virgo is quite summery, and by the time Virgo is over, late September, it's about fall time. So that's really what these signs, the basics of the sign.
Hell yeah. What's the symbol of Virgo? Glyph/symbol.
Actually, I've got it up. Let me show my screen real quick, and I can put that up for us.
Totally.
It's really cool because it's connected to Scorpio because it essentially looks like the letter M. Oh, am I not sharing that? Okay, I am now.
Here we go. Yeah, we
Yeah,
see it.
so it looks like the letter M, but then, and so does Scorpio, right? On the left, you've got Virgo, and they both have the letter M, but there's a different ending. You know, Scorpio has the scorpion's tail, but Virgo, interestingly, has a fish. And there's a lot of cool things about that fish and Virgo and how that relates to the sign. So,
Mhm.
Virgo is definitely one of the signs of the zodiac where the glyph relates. I mean, they all obviously have strong astrotheological correlations, but this one in particular, like this sign is really so cool to analyze, which is great given that Virgo's motto is I analyze, and Virgos are known for being hyper analytical. There's a lot to really break down with the sign, which we'll go or with the glyph that is, which we will get to over the course of the podcast here or the episode.
Totally. Now I've heard it called the fish. I also hear people call it the loop, the knot, the bow, right? Um, things like that, or the extra tail. Um, but totally the fish, yeah. And there's not like a universal standard for the symbols and the glyphs, so they can vary a little bit. You'll see that especially with Capricorn, right? It has like 3 popular different glyphs. But M, just real quick here before we dive any deeper, on the letter M, a theme that really unites Virgo and Scorpio to me is mystery. Capital M, mystery, right?
Yes.
And I think there's a lot of things that this M could symbolize or spell out. But I see mystery as one of those big M words that links um, Virgo and Scorpio. There's a couple others like midway, middle, maiden, medium, all these midi words that point to the middle of something. You see in the middle of the zodiac, do you have a zodiac wheel on hand that we can look at?
Oh, absolutely.
Cool.
It's right there.
So you'll notice Virgo and Scorpio are separated by Libra. Now, those 3 signs, according to many people, and it's evident at one point in history, various times in history, these 3 signs were kind of lumped together. So there is a more straightforward explanation as to why they both have an M. But I also like to see an M on either side of Libra. And again, you could almost think that those M's represent middle or midway point. Now, that may be a stretch until we understand Virgo is the verge right before the midway point. Virgo is the verge. When you're on the verge of something, right? Just about to get over the hump or cross the, threshold. Virgo is the verge. It's on the verge of the fall time, the harder times, the darker times, astrotheologically or more mythologically speaking. But yeah. Oh, I like that. I love that, Merlin. That's perfect. Touch on that.
Yeah, the letter M. This is so cool. The letter M. Talk about the perfection of the English alphabet. There's a lot of gravy in the Hebrew alphabet, obviously being 22 letters, but the English alphabet being 26. There's a lot of gravy in that too.
Mm-hmm.
And the M is the 13th letter. So there's a lot to that. And this isn't just me making this up. You can read books about this. Dr. George Carrier writes about this a lot, as do a lot of other like early 20th century, late 19th century theosophists. But M is like the descent, which if you look at the structure of the alphabet, like loop here, like it starts with A, goes down, and then goes back up to Z. M is
Mm-hmm.
that turning point, that point of resistance. And there's so much to that, right? If it's the descent, okay, cool. Well, Libra, like Longo was just talking about, rules what? Sunrise. So what do we
Libra
have? Or
sunrise or
sunset,
sunset?
sunset. I'm sorry. Yeah, my apologies.
No
Sunset.
worries.
And if you look, right, Libra is an air sign. Okay, well, the sun sets in the air. And then when the sun sets, it either sets on water, Scorpio, or Virgo, Earth. So that whole right side of the zodiac is all about the sunset. And it's just very cool. Mystery is something, and this is connecting a few things you talked about long ago, but M being mystery is so important because when you look at these signs, Libra is definitively the end. Like the glyph for Libra is the Omega symbol, the end. So Aries is the beginning, Libra is the end. And if you understand that, then you can really understand why Scorpio is all about death and transformation. Because again, Aries is the beginning, Libra's at the end. Capricorn is the rebirth, the first rebirth. So, okay, if Libra is death and Scorpio is like, the beginning of death, then this part right here, Sagittarius and Scorpio and part of Libra is very interesting because that's like the what happens between the death and rebirth, which is of course the greatest mystery of all, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I mean that I think it's so cool. I think thinking about the sequence of signs like that.
Totally. So we touched on the symbol. What about animals? Is Virgo represented by any one animal?
That's interesting. I mean, it's a human sign actually.
Okay.
Like the other Mercury ruled sign. I don't think there are some animal associations you could make with it, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's I think the only air sign that is human. Sagittarius half human, but
Mm-hmm.
you know, quite bestial.
Now,
What do you think?
I like the bear for Virgo. I like the bear for Virgo. Maybe deer as well. I see like the deer and the buck more as maybe Libra, but bear for Virgo. There's kind of a hibernation uh, element to it. Also, gophers, but gophers are almost like little mini bears a little bit. Gopher, where does that come from? Well, Virgo, just chop that in half, rearrange it, gopher, Virgo, gopher. And Virgo is associated with service. It's on that Pisces Virgo axis. Service is a huge theme. Well, service is also kind of a pun for surface, right? What's under the surface. And again, Virgo has this association with hermits, being a hermit, and also hermetic. Now, if you look up through mainstream etymology, they'll tell you there's no connection whatsoever to between hermit and hermetic. Isn't that funny? Well, Virgo is where it comes together, where those etymologies kind of synthesize. You're not going to get that in an etymology book. You got to know your astrology. There's all these cool little phonetic, breadcrumbs, little puns and stuff that all point back to the zodiac. The zodiac is the original like cipher for the original language, God's, God's word. And okay, but the bear. So I like the bear because, I see Virgos as ruling caves a little bit, Scorpio too, maybe. Um, somewhere that a hermit would hide, right? And bears often, they can be reclusive. They go away and they hide, they dig, they burrow, whatever. And Virgos and bears, Virgo has a lot to do with working, right? Bearing a load, burden, right? Working, serving others, right? Capricorn can be hard work too, but Capricorn's more what we're building for ourselves. Virgo's much more what we're building for others, service to others. Here, let me get us back up on screen here. Virgo. So we can take Virgo here, since we're talking about phonetics. Okay, stretch this out a little bit. Virgo, if you say worker with a German accent, it sounds like Virgo. Werker, Virgo, say it with a German accent. Virgo and worker are very close, very close. But also, if you go in the more Spanish direction, a V and B are very close together too. And, you could almost twist Virgo and make it sound like bear too. So bearing something, to hold on to something, kind of have something dumped in your lap, a burden, right? I see this connection with Virgo there. Ver, bear, beer.
A woman bears a child, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And Virgo, it's all about, obviously, the concept of virginity. I want to get into later, but it is obviously tremendous with this sign. But on work, Virgo is, like we said earlier, the sixth sign of the zodiac and is associated with the sixth house as well. And the sixth house has a couple different significations, one of them being work. It's associated with servitude, work. It's a house of, being servile. It's also a house of illnesses, which, those things do relate, right? You think, okay, well, the sixth house is both illnesses and work. It's like, well, yeah, do you not get sick of the things you have to do? This is making me sick. This stuff that I have to do every day, right? We use that kind of language. And then as far as animal associations, I like giving it the association. I know it's not an animal, obviously, but bread, it's food because it is health. And that, again, being on the Pisces axis and Virgo also having a little bit of fish in the glyph, it being associated with food is also super important, given that connection to the sixth house as well. And, food is so important for your health, obviously, like what you put into your body, into your temple, is going to dictate how it runs, which is another cool connection between Scorpio, Libra, and Virgo. There's a lot of input output mechanisms going on here. Virgo ruling the bowels. Even if you're not into astrology or the esoteric, over the last 5-10 years, you've probably heard different influencers in like the health space talking about gut microbiomes, and that kind
Mhm.
of thing is extremely Virgoan.
Ooh, you know, made me think of Virgo. To me, rules hermeticism. Like I said, being a hermit, being a hermetic, right? That's Virgo. But also alchemy, chemistry. There's a little bit of science to Virgo, and
Mm-hmm.
kind of experimentation, utilitarian uh, look on things is kind of another Virgo thing. Um, but with the alchemists, oh fuck, I forgot what I was gonna say. Oh, you said the microbiome. It's almost the microbiome is almost in itself like an as above, so below type of
Yeah.
thing,
Yeah.
right? There's like the microcosm within. People are worried about like scrubbing their house and like scrubbing everything outside, but it's the cleanliness. That's also something Jesus talks about too. Is like, don't so much worry about the cleanliness outside the body. Worry about cleanliness inside. Um, Virgo, it made me think of like as above, so below, which is pretty much like the motto of hermeticism and so on. But
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, no, go ahead.
No, and that's so true, because it, like, Virgo, to really get into it, right? I guess let's get into it. Virgin. What does it mean to be virgin? As above, so below. Okay, well, if you're a virgin, you're not yet an adult. You're a child. But also, okay, take that concept, apply it to, once again, food. Why is your olive oil called extra virgin olive oil? Because it's
Mm,
not adulterated, it's pure. So Virgo is all about the purity, thus
hmm
the analytics. I analyze, because you have to be so careful with what you put into your body, with what goes into your gut, that if you adulterate or adulter what the process, then you could corrupt yourself, and thus the scorpionic connection right there, and
hmm
again, what goes in affects how everything runs and what comes out, essentially. But yeah, that adultery too, right? Like being unadulterated, being virgin. Okay, well then Scorpio, it rules what? Adultery, betrayal. So like there's
hmm
that complete correlation of words.
Yep. And
So
virginity,
mhm.
remember Libra is temptation and Scorpio is like the falling prey, that kind of getting trapped or getting stabbed by that, the Grim Reaper kind of reaping what you sowed. Um, so it makes sense that virginity comes before that kind of grand temptation that Libra represents. But also, it can also be marriage. You can take this two different ways, right? Um, the energy of the universe is on this cycle, this
Mhm.
pathway. It's constantly rotating, but there are different manifestations or avenues, within that cycle it can go. So Virgo ruling virginity and purity. It's the last sign before Libra, where those things are almost put on trial or scrutinized or um, tempted. And then comes Scorpio, right? But Libra doesn't have to be just temptation towards destruction. Libra also offers this, marriage. Marriage is a great way to avoid the, you know, pitfalls of temptation and stuff like that.
Mhm.
But so there's always a way out. We're not demonizing Libra more than we need to, but the time of year that Libra is set in stone. It is the fall. It is autumn when the sun is entombed, right? And but okay, so Virgo, let's give some opinions on Virgo since I guess we got the basics out of the way. Um Virgo to me is a very vanilla sign. And that kind of has to do with being in the middle, right? Aries at the beginning, that's like cayenne pepper right in your face, right? That's like the sun rising and you're like hungover and you're like, oh, I don't want to see that. It's like the sun is. I've never drank in my life, by the way. So, correct. Clarification there. But Aries is right up front, has a clear and evident and obvious flavor to it, right? Pisces at the end, the very wet, very deep, very emotional, right? Pisces has a very pronounced flavor as well. Now, in the middle, however, Virgo, because it's kind of in the middle of that pendulum swing, or it's kind of in the middle of those scales, the two arms on either side. To me, Virgo's always been a very vanilla sign, not spicy, not cold, not, soaking wet, not super dry. Pretty in the middle on lots of things. I've never heard anybody say Virgo's one of the largest signs, big bodied. I've never heard anyone say that. But I've never heard anyone say Virgo's the smallest sign of the zodiac. So they seem to be more on the medium size. They tend to be more medium in many ways. Now, that can sound like a bad thing, and it can be. Virgo is far from my favorite sign, but something that Virgo does have, their edge is they're very mysterious. So remember, to truly be mysterious, you kind of, I think people who are medium or vanilla on the outside actually have the potential to be more mysterious than someone like Rick Owen, or someone who like dresses up like a zombie, or all flashy or dark, or like you're stuck in a room with Motley Crue. How much depth are you going to get? Like, sure, they're dressed like zombie rock star trannies, but someone, whereas like Dexter, for example, Dexter's kind of like I forget what he is. I think he's an Aquarius or something. I forget. But
The
Dexter's
actor,
more of, no, just like, yeah. What is
Michael
he?
C. Hall.
Yeah, see what he is.
Check him. Yeah.
See, Aries or Aquarius. Maybe he's a Virgo. That'd be cool.
He's born February 1st. Yeah, he
Yeah,
is
Aquarius.
Aquarius. Yeah.
So a lot of redheads are Aquarius, ironically. Funny. But for example, to have kind of a vanilla look to you on the exterior does give you, I think, the ability to be more mysterious behind the scenes, right? People forget that about mystery. It is kind of like, it seems like everything's normal, but there's a lot more behind the scenes. So a Virgo can be very vanilla, but that's kind of the interesting dichotomy. It's like they're very vanilla on one sense, but they're also allegedly the most mysterious sign of the zodiac. Yeah. Opinions on Virgo, Merlin?
It's pretty cool that you mentioned, them being right in the middle. You could think of it like they're the sign that's in the sweet spot, which kind of goes back to your bear metaphor. It's almost like Goldilocks, oh, it's not too hot, it's not too cold, it's just right. And that's also the temperature outside too. That's how everything looks. Everything's this time of the year is just
dude, Goldilocks is perfect for like drilling home the medium bear correlation. I love that.
Oh yeah, it's yep. And yeah, that's just, I thought of that. I mean, you said it, man. Which can go into like Aristotle. That's for another day. But yeah, it is that sweet spot. It's like, think about, there's so much. I've had so many like experiences this week with like balance, and I've been thinking a lot about it. And it's just so true. Like there has to be a balance, Like for there, it's obviously cheesy and corny, but like for there to be good, there has to be bad that way, because you couldn't recognize the good if there wasn't bad to compare it to, and it has to like oscillate equally on each side of the balance that is the Libra Aries equator axis. But you can kind of apply that to like all of creation, right? That's why winter is inverno, it's the inverse of summer, and like spring, right? Summer, spring, things are growing. Winter, fall, things are dying. It's literal opposites. But Virgo, what I'm getting at with this though is like Virgo is like the reason it's all going. Like, like God like started the year with Aries and like made things get hotter to like reach this point, like reach this crescendo, this like sweet spot of the year, and then it deteriorates from there, and then the cycle starts back up again once it can get that energy back. You know what I mean?
Totally. Here we got a super chat. Bear Lawn 318 499 said, "Tomorrow is my birthday. Picked up a copy of the Celestial Blueprint. Ordering a dictionary next to look up vapid cacophony." Shouldn't be that hard to figure out.
Is that Robert's book?
Yeah.
Nice. Vapid cacophony. Yeah. That sounds like it's describing modern astrologers.
Yep. You know what vapid means, right?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Cacophony?
Chaos. Not a symphony.
Yeah, it's like the seagulls in Nemo. If you ever want to know what cacophony means, it's like the seagulls in Nemo, Finding Nemo, where it's like mine, 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 and they're all talking like at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah, or just like
noise.
Yeah, or like New York noise, just like shouting from every direction, honking, but yeah. So thanks Bearlawn. I wasn't trying to be pretentious or snooty using big words, but that's how I feel like that sums up modern astrology, don't you?
Yeah,
Merlin? Lot of noise, so much, like there's so much. I feel bad. It's the first thing I think of because there's so much noise. I don't blame people for thinking astrology is bullshit. If they've just heard nothing but conflicting opinions, like blue-haired baristas with fucking piercings,
Yeah, I think astrology has been getting psyoped for over 100 years, and that may sound ridiculous to somebody who's not into, looking down like, conspiracy theory rabbit holes, but a lot of people, I forgot who I said I was listening to. I was listening to Owen Benjamin on San Tripoli, and he did an interview there recently.
Nice.
And they were talking and they were like, oh yeah, there's something like, oh, who's really interesting is the people who read they were talking about the elites, right? And they're like, oh, the people who read the stars, that's where the real power is. So like, everybody, even if you're not super into the esoteric, like,
yeah,
the psyop on saying that astrology is bullshit is so strong, which is good because that just gives us avenues and opportunities to like do it correctly. It's like if everything is, and again, that's one of the million reasons not to be a doomer. Like if everything is shit and everybody sucks nowadays, well, cool, you can stand out and become exceptional more easily. Congratulations, like, so it's all opportunity, I think.
Mm-hmm. Thanks, Bearlawn.
Yeah, thank you, bud.
So casting couch, Virgo. So we talked about mystery. I like to say Virgo and Scorpio, another thing they have in common is detective skills. Okay. Virgos make great analysts. Okay. We already used the word analyze. That's the motto of Virgo. But also, not to be lewd here, but that's another thing that connects Virgo to Scorpio. Analyze or analyze. All right. To be very detailed is to concern yourself with detail.
Oh,
You
no.
like that? Okay.
Chasing detail. Yeah.
Detail. Yeah.
Yeah.
Detail oriented. Um, but detail, analyze. And so that's like Virgo, Scorpio. And also like IT, just kind of nerding out on stuff. Virgos, we should have started off with this. Where are my manners? Virgo is one of the
Mhm.
smartest signs of the zodiac.
Yeah.
Very, very smart, but maybe even the smartest, but they need to work for their smarts. Virgos, the ones who studied their ass off in school, always turn their homework in time, fucking goody two shoes, brown nosing like you wouldn't believe. All right. Like Virgos, they fucking get off on like school and just like being told what to do and handing their homework in on time. Virgos, I'm generalizing, of course. I'm sure there's some bad boy Virgos out there, all right. But by and large, it's goody two shoes in school. This is why Virgos make great nurses too. Okay. Virgo is one of the signs that's least likely to be a conspiracy theorist. Sorry.
100%. 100%. I will
they
vouch for that. I
they
will
are
vouch for that.
they are by the book, as we say, because they're right next to Libra, which means book in Latin. Libra, library. Okay, when we say someone's a goody two shoes, that's kind of like being a Pisces. Rules the feet, goody two
Hmm.
shoes, right? Someone's by the book, they're a Libra, they're a Virgo. Virgos are by the book. Okay, they want Virgos want to know the rules of something so they can excel within those boundaries. Virgos love kind of like constraints almost, or like knowing the rules of something so they can stay in bounds. And that applies to a lot of different areas of life. But Virgos make great nurses. They are the sign of the nurse, the midwife, the wet nurse, maiden, you know, servant. Okay. Sorry. Virgos excel at serving others. Like Pisces being on that same axis, they can often they can be more conscientious of other people's needs, other people's wants, fears than their own, right? So Virgo's very selfless sign. That's a great thing about Virgos. It makes them great nurses. Okay. I can't tell you how many Virgos I've met that are nurses. And the one nurse that I know that I'm closest to is a Scorpio. So again, Scorpios, they're comfortable with blood and guts and gore and, feces, or, like Scorpio can handle the nastiest part of the job. What's Mike Rowe's birthday? Can we check that? Is he a Virgo or a
Yeah,
Scorpio?
dirty jobs. Let's see what's up with Micro. Yeah.
I like his name because it's Micro. Please
Oh
tell me he's a
yeah.
Virgo.
He's a Gemini too, or rather a Mercury ruled thing. No, March 18th. He's a Pisces.
Okay.
Hmm.
Well, that's still good. Dirty jobs. Pisces can handle some nasty stuff too. But yeah,
Could be a
okay,
Virgo.
yes. Animal rescuers, totally true. Virgos, yep. They definitely like to care for dogs, animals, horses, things that are abandoned. I'd say no data. I'm not going off any data here, but I feel like Virgo's one of the signs most likely to adopt or, fill in for a parent role,
Which is hermetic in a way. That's a lot of the hermetic tradition, the mystery school tradition is, not the father you're born to, but then the father or family you choose. You get
Mm,
initiated, you find these role models, you
interesting.
learn from them, and that's very hermetic. And that often is like a lot of, like childless men often, in those kind of like priestly roles too,
Ha- have you
where it
heard?
depends.
Very interesting. Have you heard of John Dee's uh, one of his life goals or something that he kind of struggled with his whole life? He was instructed by one of his spiritual advisors that there was no greater selfless act or something like that. John Dee was told by someone, I'm messing up the details, that to raise another person's child is like the most selfless act. And John Dee was always thinking like, well, how am I going to get around to making that happen? I've got a wife. I love my wife, And the angels who instructed him to wife swap, okay, there was a child that resulted from that union. And John Dee kind of almost got what he wished for in a weird way. And he I don't think he was a Virgo, but he was certainly an alchemist and a wizard and a hermit and a hermetic. So who knows? There is something to that, like being the nanny or the servant. But all right, so what else? Virgos love to serve. They make good waiters. They make good butlers. Remember, butlers are very smart. What's Michael Caine? What's his birthday? Is he like a Leo or an Aries?
Michael Caine. It's not sure. March 14th. He's also another Pisces.
Yeah. Your grape swishers, Master Wayne. I can't do it. Can't do it.
He was a great Alfred.
You've got to close your nose. Do a British accent. Got to plug your nose. I can't do it.
I would butcher it.
Yeah.
It's cool that you mentioned animals. Oh, go ahead.
Your grape. No, I just want to do the meme. Your grape swishers, Master Wayne.
Your grape swishers?
Yeah.
I don't know that meme.
That's all right. Not everyone can smoke loud.
I guess not.
All right, go ahead.
Oh yeah, it's cool you mentioned animals. Modern astrology does get I knock it a lot, but it gets some things right in some ways, I think. And the sixth house traditionally, if you look like very strict astrological traditions, it's typically illnesses and servitude, but modern astrology has pegged it as also, small animals as well. The 12th house has strong large animal associations like, ox and horse, stuff like that, beasts of burden. Whereas the 6th house is small, like house pets and stuff like that. So there's a strong association with that with Virgo too, which is cool. And I have seen that honestly quite a bit. People with strong Virgo placements have a great affinity for small animals. And again, that's just, things that you can rule over. Someone in chat mentioned that Virgo is the beginning of the school year. And that's once again, like the teachers rule over the students. If you're a student, you're essentially like a servant, like being lorded over for those 12 years or whatever. So that's all very Virgoan. I'm sorry, you were going to say that? I put you on the spot.
That's all right. Yeah, small animals for sure. Since we're talking about the 6th house, what is the 6th house rule? To me, I like to call it the house of nutrition and institutional education. So, well, a lot of institutions. Virgo also in the 6th house has to do with work in a way, but people always kind of differ with how they describe that. I like to say Virgo rules institutions and things that places you're almost kind of compelled to be. It's not necessarily your highest grand design for your life. It's kind of more of a stepping stone, a midway point, right? Another Virgo theme. So being in high school is extremely Virgonian. Being in college, very Virgonian. Being your first job, very Virgonian, right? Some of your earlier jobs, your earliest attempts at making a living, And maybe your job that's more of an, here's a good word, occupation, instead of your highest calling, instead of your career, right?
Mm,
People
that's
kind
good.
of people kind of ignore these important distinctions. Occupation is more like what you're occupied with, right? What's filling your day. You know, um, I could work at Dunkin' Donuts, but is that my highest calling in life? No. So to me, that's more Capricorn in the 10th house. It's what's pulling you up to the top of the chart, your highest calling. Virgo's over, at like 3 o'clock roughly. No, that's not true. More like 4 or 5 o'clock, maybe ish. On a chart, it's over on the right hand side, right?
Yep.
The 6th house is more of institutions that you're stopping in along the way. So that's why I say middle school, high school, college, things like that. To me, that shows up in the 6th house. How someone was treated in school, to me, often shows up in the 6th house, or someone's attitude towards formal education or the public school system. Opinions about education, to me, show up in the 6th house a lot. But it's also nutrition because Virgo rules the gut,
Mhm.
the bowels, intestines, the intestines. So Virgo very much rules nutrition and our attitudes towards clean eating, healthy eating, right? Whether we're an extremist about food or don't really care, the 6th house largely determines that. So,
Dude, incredible connection from chat too. Somebody mentioned vacation and vocation. And look at that earth sign connection.
mm,
Capricorn and Virgo are more about vocation, where you have the Taurus vacation tie in there.
I like that. um,
But yeah, Virgo is just to kind of touch what you said earlier too. Virgo is ruled by Mercury, and Mercury rules two signs, Gemini and Virgo. And you said that Virgo is one of the smarter signs of the zodiac, and one of the reasons for that is that mercurial influence. In astrology, Mercury rules the mind, especially the active mind. And as a Gemini, I take a little bit of offense that Virgo is the exaltation of Mercury, but it does make sense. Virgo is a more like if a Gemini mind is more, all over the place and bouncing back and forth looking for an answer. The Virgo mind, especially a well-developed one, is much more focused. That hyper analytical. Ready to choose the answer and move forward with a plan that makes sense. Essentially,
yeah, Virgos, they need to have a plan. They do not like to shoot from the hip or bullshit their way through things or, you know, improvise. Virgos like to plan things out. They like to get meticulous. There's another medium
mm,
met
yep,
word, meticulous, hermetic, meticulous, right?
yeah.
Um, Virgos. So here, let's name some Virgos. Okay, so we're not just being all theoretical and abstract. Let's put a face to this. Let's look up some Virgo celebrities.
I've got it pulled
Who
up on
who
my
are some of
screen.
your
Like
who are some of your favorite Virgo celebrities?
favorite Virgo celebrities. Interesting.
Yeah. Oh, here's another one, real quick. This is true. So Virgo is associated with working, utility, right? Um, Kind of how we problem solve too, right? I guess that's a very good Virgo theme is problem solving. Um, Virgo, you see that word ergo in Virgo. To me, that's very valid. Ergonomic is almost, does kind of have to do with shape and almost brings to mind like air being aerodynamic, or being shaped for the most utility or efficiency. That's Virgo to a T too. Virgos, one of their downfalls can be being utilitarian, right? Just only seeing the purpose or the use in things, right? So, yeah. Virgo rules like kind of manual labor too, in some ways. And I really like this. Okay, shout out to Owen Benjamin. I heard this from manual labor or Emmanuel labor. Manuel, Emmanuel,
Mm-hmm.
the savior, Emmanuel being like a term for what does Emmanuel mean? God with us. With
Oh, is that
us.
part of toil maxing he's been into lately?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
like
Toil
it's
maxing.
work shall set you free, I've heard.
Hmm.
You
And I
know?
love that because if Virgo rules like hard work, it's on the opposite end of the spectrum. Well, not opposite, it's on the same axis as Pisces, which represents Jesus, in many ways. People disagree about Jesus's birthday. Okay, whatever. Well, he definitely represented the age of Pisces, at least. I think he represented the whole zodiac, the whole universe, whole everything. But definitely kicked off the party for the age of Pisces, the fish, regardless of his birthday. But one of his most commonly proposed birthdays is September 11th. Pretty interesting.
Yeah.
September 11th, which would make him a Virgo. So, born of a virgin, born in the sign of Virgo, born in the Virgin. I don't know. Maybe there's something to that.
Oh, that's why the fish isn't
Beth-
part of the glyph. Go ahead.
Bethlehem, house of bread, Virgo, another Virgo thing. So,
Yeah. Virgo, like we were talking about earlier, rules the intestines, the bowels, all that stuff. It also rules the solar plexus. And, Longo, you're a big fan of raising the chrism. But if you again, Santos has brought this up, like if you're into, the kind of things that we're into, like syncretism and stuff like that and associated topics, raising the chrism does come up. And theoretically, if it's true, like the chrism essentially is birthed in the solar plexus. So that is that Christ oil within. So that is like, even that is of Virgo, and the solar plexus represents, like the deep bowels. Even in the darkest, deepest bowels is where the sun, the light, the hope of the world can be born. So that's that Virgo Jesus connection, I think, right there, or at least part of
yeah.
it.
Yeah. And then there's also kind of the tunneling or the. Had you heard of this word catabasis?
No.
Catabasis. Look that up. Catabasis. It's the name for. I want to start saying the word databasis because
A
it's like
downhill journey?
databases. Catabasis. Yeah, it's like a journey to the underworld.
Oh, that's cool.
And Jesus, of course, has at least one, version of a catabasis going down to the underworld, down to Hades, and coming back up.
Mhm.
To me, that's pretty Virgo. Also, Robert Phoenix, shout out to him. The Phoenix, not so much going underground, but symbolizing a similar thing. Full death, full descent, and a reignition, a revitalization. Virgo, Robert Phoenix is a Virgo, and he likes to go by Phoenix. So, you know, there's something there about revolution, planting into the ground, and something else, something new coming back up.
Yeah, harvesting something.
Yep.
Yeah, planting and harvesting. That's, Virgo is holding the shaft of wheat or whatever in her arm, and that's reaping the harvest. That's what happens this time of the year. You pick your crops. That's a big part of it. You get what you
Can we
earn.
can we see some ancient Virgo artwork? like ancient depictions of the sign of Virgo, or just like medieval or anything?
Yeah, I got my screen share. We can try and take a look.
Cool.
If anything pops out to you, let me know.
That one's good. She's got the wheat in her hand.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like Merlin said, Virgo traditionally depicted with a, what's it called? What's
I thought it was like a shaft of
single?
wheat.
Yeah, I think that's right. Shaft. I think it's just shaft.
Chaff. Okay, chafe. That's what it is, like a chafe of wheat or something like that.
Sheaf. A sheaf.
What's the etymology of that word? It might be pretty cool.
She fucking. She, she fucking. Never mind.
How is it spelled? CH
SH. No, hang on, Merlin. This isn't your.
chafe.
This is.
Oh,
This isn't your. This isn't. Never mind. I don't
come
know.
on
Couldn't.
now. Come
Couldn't
on
think
now.
of a joke. This isn't your doctor's visit. All right. This is
Yeah, it's a big problem for me.
different word. Different word here. Okay. Sheaf. SHEAF.
Ah, thank you. Large bundle into which grain is bound after reaping. Interesting. Bundle. Hair on the head. Okay.
The
Okay.
chat's just loving the shaft talk. Sheaf. But yeah, so Virgo, often depicted as, a woman, a maiden, a virgin, wheat, bread, the harvest being represented in some way. All right, let's look at some celebrities. So, do you have a favorite Virgo celebrity?
Man, Warren Buffett is a great Virgo, I think.
Okay. Yeah.
Known for being analytical,
Yep.
with his financial purchases and whatnot. So,
Yes.
and go ahead.
Virgos also can be very, very frugal. They can be very, like I said, utilitarian, but also, um, yeah, just frugal. Only what they need. They can kind of have like a backpacker's approach to life, not necessarily in the travel sense, but more in like all right, what do I need? I've got everything I need. I've got my utility belt. I've got my little Virgos is like the sign that has like a go bag in their car. Like, oh, what if everything goes wrong? Like, I'll have my snacks and my water bottle like ready, and they Virgos have escape plans, backup plans. They think of negative outcomes a lot. They kind of plan ahead, and they like to be safe, like I said. Oh boy.
That's
Oh, this list, bro. This list. All
yeah.
right. All right. I've been trying to hide it, but all right. Virgo is one of my least favorite signs. And the more I try and hide it, the more I just can't. Like, all right. Zendaya should just be put in a cannon and fucking shot into another universe. Like, she sucks so bad. Here's the most Virgo word ever. Mid. Virgos are mid AF. All right. Sorry. Uh Zendaya is the most mid person ever, and that's being nice, okay? I've seen dog shit stuck to my shoe that was a million times better looking than Zendaya on a good day. Okay. Zendaya is the missing link we've all been looking for, all right?
Holy moly, dude. What do
Zendaya
you really think about her?
Zendaya might make me believe in evolution, all right? Zendaya has me questioning the Bible.
Wow.
Zendaya got baby teeth, all right? Zendaya is so mid, it's not even funny. And if Hollywood weren't kissing her ass, I wouldn't have to complain so much. But mid is an understatement. All right.
All right.
She looks like hang on, I'm trying to get creative here. Zendaya. She's just ugly. We can leave it at that. She's just I hate her. I just hate everything about her. Like I just don't. The fact she's ruined so many good movies. The fact she's paraded like the next Angelina Jolie. Like okay. She's so ugly. It's not even funny. She is the most beta boyfriend in the world. She's oh my god, Dr. Longo's so jealous of Zendaya.
Did someone say that?
No, I'm just imagining it. But, it's still funny.
So you think she's just a bad actress, or just like not as hot
She's a
as she's alleged to be?
don't even get me started on that. She's a terrible actress. She's terrible.
She's a nepo baby, right? Or am I incorrect on that?
I don't know. Zendaya. Who's her parent?
Let me find out. Early life, baby. Let's see. Parents were teachers. Her father, Kazimbi Ajamu Coleman, with a Nigerian
Jeez.
ancestry. Her mother, Claire Stormer. Okay. German Scotch. Okay. So, what was the question? Nepo? I guess not. Not a Nepo baby. Okay.
Hell no. Hell no. Okay. Now, almost everything I said about Zendaya is almost all true about Beyonce too. So now, Merlin, I'll let you tee off on young Kook. I'm not even going to touch him. All right, that's all you. I know. You've been winding up. You've been getting ready for Jung Kook.
Yeah.
But John Bernthal, dude, what is up? The top 3 Virgos are like my top 3 most hated people ever. Beyonce sucks.
Shit.
Hell no. Let me tell you something, bro.
Let me tell you something, Rick. Let me tell you something, Rick. He's just like shaving his head.
Come on. Come on. Let me tell you something, man. Let me tell you something, man.
Gotta take care of that boy, Rick. I like those seasons, honestly.
So Zendaya, like I said, she needs to be put in a cannon and just shot into somewhere else, some other land. Send her to fucking Tartaria for all I care. All right, shoot her in a can. Okay, I shouldn't say that. We're not advocating any violence. I'm talking about like a circus cannon. Okay, put her in a circus cannon and just launch her somewhere else, please. All right, Zendaya. Just kidding. We wish her well. We don't wish any harm on anyone.
Like we like Keanu though, right?
As a circus cannon, yes. Keanu is cool.
Keanu.
John Bernthal. I had no idea he's a Virgo. It makes perfect sense. You know, I'm actually on record in writing saying John Bernthal is ugly as fuck. And I meant it. All right. John Bernthal is ugly as fuck. Everything I said about Zendaya times it by 10 and times it by 10 and then yeah. John Bernthal, I can't stand him. He sucks. He ruins every movie too. He's in every single movie. See, what are we learning about Virgo here? Virgos are so just like mid, malleable. They can just kind of fit into almost any role as like a background actor. John Bernthal, I can't stand him. Just can't stand him. He's ugly. He's annoying. Plays the same guy in every movie.
He does
What
play
do you
the
think?
tough guy a lot.
Tell me what you think, Merlin.
About John Bernthal?
Yeah, you won't make me upset. It's okay.
I'm not trying to make it. I don't know. I don't like him. I didn't.
You don't have to take the posters of him down off your wall.
Well, I'm going to now, dude. No, I mean, I don't know. I liked him in Walking Dead. I didn't hate it. I loved the show, like especially back then, dude. When it first came out, that show was fucking sick.
All right, who's this? Dawn? No, you're banned. Perma banned. How do we? Hang on, I gotta open the chat. No, I'm not having that.
What do the ladies in the chat think? Is Liz Longo correct? Is John Bernthal chopped?
Hang on, I gotta switch. I gotta switch to YouTube so I can.
You're legit banning Don Bispin for saying he's a good-looking guy.
Definitely timeout. That definitely deserves a timeout. So 10-minute timeout for you. We're not going with that. And who said Zendaya was pretty? Who said that? It's same person. Yeah, you deserve it. You deserve it.
Fool him once, man. Shit.
No, hell no. We're not rolling with that. Go
yeah,
on,
I have no I don't care about how John Bernthal looks personally. I didn't find him to be offensively ugly. You know?
Are you kidding me? You gotta get your hormones checked or something then. The dude, he's like offensively. He's got like the fake cauliflower. He's got cauliflower face. All right. He doesn't have cauliflower ear. He's got cauliflower nose. He's got cauliflower everything. It's like, yeah. I just can't stand him. And just the way he thinks he's so cool too is so gay.
He definitely has that aura for sure, where he exudes that, you know, whether you can call it like masculinity, you know, authentic or, you know, completely fabricated masculinity. But there's at least the attempt to exude the masculinity for sure.
He needs that early life check too.
Oh yeah, I think that's
we don't need a check. I already know.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. That one I was pretty sure of too. Yeah. I love that meme. When you're ready, you won't have to check.
And he thinks like he's the guy who said like pit bulls like deserve love, like pit bulls aren't the problem, it's bad people. It's like, no, bro.
Oh yeah, that's I concur completely with that. Yeah.
What you want to say, Aristotle? Mm-hmm. You want to burn this bridge over John Bernthal? You like John Bernthal? Well, let's Bernthal some bridges. All right. You like Zendaya? I'm just kidding. So John Bernthal and Beyonce is talentless. Like, sure, she's a pretty good singer, but aren't like all chubby black women great singers? You know,
many. Interesting. You think is Beyonce known for being chubby?
Oh yeah.
Am I so lost on this?
She's a big girl. Okay. I'm not saying she's fat. I'm not saying she's obese, but she's built like a defensive lineman.
She got a lot of face shots.
She a lot of headshots. Yep, a lot of headshots. That's when you know bitches. That's when you know a hoe be fat.
Okay, she's got a large frame for sure.
She's tall. She's big. She's a big girl.
Yeah, what's Beyonce's height?
She's built like Ray Lewis.
Beyonce's 5'7". Okay, 5'7".
No, I think she's taller than that. I don't know. I thought she was like 5'10".
Interesting.
Yeah, hell yeah. How search how much is hang on. You think Beyonce weighs 135? You're tripping. She's like 150 minimum. Merlin, can we look that up?
Beyonce's weight. Let's
Yeah.
go. I guarantee it's gonna say like 125 or some shit. Beyonce said she weighed 175
Hell
pounds.
yeah. Okay, I'm on the fucking money. Daisy Eye Bear, you don't know your black women at all. Okay.
Longo is an expert on black women.
Yep. Weighing them, measuring. CCs. Yeah, we do need it. Yeah, we already fact checked it. 175. I was taking it easy on her. I almost said 100, 165.
Longo didn't fact check it, he fat checked it.
Yep. Yeah, I told you she thick. And that's the secret. Just don't have a fat waist. And you won't be fat. That's it. You can weigh whatever. As long as your midway point, your waist, okay? Your middle torso, as long as that is thinner than your shoulders. Guys, okay, since I'm so hard on the women, I'm going to give you guys a secret, a trick, okay? Women, there's like, yeah, we can be tough on girls, we can be tough on women, whatever, okay? This is a man show, okay? This is not women's astrology. Go watch your fucking blue-haired fucking Volkswagen driving astrologers, all right? This is a man show, all right? This is casting couch astrology. So we'll put them through the ringer if we want to. But I'll throw you guys an olive branch, throw you guys some pearls here for a sec. Being beautiful, being graceful as a woman has almost nothing to do with genetics. It even has very little to do with what you eat or how you exercise. It has almost everything to do with posture. Okay. Women with big shoulders, like where their back is their shoulder blades aren't tucked back, okay? They rarely will get called beautiful. Sorry. Okay. They do not, you know, register as graceful or, when you've got the shoulders in the wrong position, spread out, turned over frontward, when they're walking like a man, okay? That's what ruins beauty. Your face is almost irrelevant, believe it or not. People are going to have birthmarks, people are going to have, whatever, scars, whatever. It is all about posture. Don't be fat in your midsection and stand up straight and tuck your shoulder blades back, almost like pretend you're in a corset. Stand up straight. Okay. That's what's beautiful. Okay. So people like Beyonce, Zendaya, they get called beautiful. No, they just know how to stand up straight, smile, not be offensively ugly, not get overweight, so overweight. Being called astoundingly beautiful is actually very easy. Stand up straight, pull your shoulders back, walk correctly, walk with your hips, don't walk with your shoulders like a man, it's very simple. And if you follow those rules, you can almost weigh like 200 pounds and someone will still think you're gorgeous and graceful and feminine, you know? The other allowances are very wide, right? You can be face could be, god awful, whatever. But those are like the bare minimum. And those are like the key components of beauty in a woman. Dare I say? What do you think, Merlin?
The key components of beauty in a woman?
Yeah, posture. It's like has so much less to do with the face and genetics than people think. Has so much more to do with not being fat in the middle section and standing up straight, having your shoulders in the right spot, not I see so often women who would otherwise be like very beautiful, but they have, the shoulders are like a man. They're broad. And not because a woman will look in the mirror and be like, "Oh, I wish I didn't have broad shoulders." Well, then tuck them back. Stand up straight. You know what I mean? I'm not even looking at the chat. I don't even know how,
Chat's
how
not
they're
that brutal,
receiving it.
I don't think.
But all right.
I don't know. I kind of have the opposite opinion. I think face matters more. I mean, for me, like the way I think about it is like, like a thin chick can get big and a big chick can get thin, but you can't fake a beautiful face. I think for me, a beautiful face is the most important thing when it comes to determining beauty personally.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like giga simp, I guess, where like I think more women are beautiful than not personally, especially like if you like, can get toward the thinner end. Like almost the overwhelming amount of people I would say are more beautiful than not personally. That's kind of where I'm at with it.
Mm-hmm. I hear you. Yeah, I can appreciate that. But with the face, when you say, you know, if someone says, it's certainly true for a lot of people, they just think about the face. But I think that's also kind of the cause of, you know, makeup comes into play. Now we're talking about a whole nother thing, it's not even really what God gave us originally. Um, Well, here, okay. The reason I brought that up is because I'm sure there's tons of women out there who weigh 175 pounds and are like, well, what the fuck? I don't look like Beyonce. And I was just trying to point out you know, I personally how I think you can get there. Okay. Like I said, yes, maybe face is the most important thing, but we can't necessarily change face
Hmm.
overnight, whereas posture, standing up straight, making sure all our bones are in the right spot. Um, you can almost change that instantly. So,
Yeah. Do you think that kind of thing is like? I feel like a lot of that is determined almost astrologically, like how a person looks. I think is very astrological.
mhm.
I think the way they carry themselves too. I think physiognomy is related heavily towards what you're talking about personally.
So here, this is a good comment. Beauty is in
Yeah.
the eye of the beholder is for ugly people, though. Yes, correct. True beauty is objective, 100%. Now,
Hmm.
I think that strengthens both of our cases a little bit, but I ultimately think it pushes in the direction of body being more important. Um, so true beauty is objective, and there are facial types that are beautiful, right? But the closer you get to that like objective beauty, you actually almost get closer to like a Kim Kardashian on the front of a magazine. Like, yes, maybe it's the most universally appealing, but do you want your wife to be the most universally appealing? You want, like, there's something to be said about what you like more than others, what you appreciate. Um, so the distortion from the objective, most beautiful, is where like preference comes in. You know what I mean? Like you need a little distortion from the perfect to create, um, you know, to create, what's the word? Variation for preference.
Hmm.
Um, but with the body, you know, I feel like, see, this is a type of bro talk that we need to be having. Okay,
Hmm.
it's almost tits versus ass, almost, but more of a face versus body. Okay, um, face. A lot of things you can read on people's face, so we definitely don't have to pit them against each other. You could look at it the same way,
Yeah.
but someone's lifestyle is so much more exhibited to me by their body. You see,
Yes.
and that's why I think posture is so important too. I don't think I have many superpowers, but if I did, I think reading someone for the first time is something I'm really good at. And not conversationally, I mean posture, looking at people, seeing their self esteem, seeing how much they believe in themselves off just my first glance, just my first view of them, how they stand, how they walk. Um, that tells me so much about someone. So much. I can be in my car and see a couple across a parking lot that I can't even hear a word of their conversation. And just off their body language, I can tell who's in charge, who's running the show. You know what I mean? Um, things like that. So posture to me, it tells so much, but it's not just a symptom. It is kind of symbiotic, or it's a cycle that can go backwards. You know, you can operate on the physical and see results in the mental or the emotional or the philosophical, right?
Yes.
You can massage the body and it acts on another part, right? So getting someone to stand up straight will orient their mental faculties in a way too. And this is what yoga is all about. It's essentially stretching, working out the kinks, freeing up your range of motion, because there's a spiritual implication, there's a mental implication, uh, a cause and effect there too. So that's like the basic principle of yoga. Um, but I see that's why I think body is so important. Is, you know, you can see how someone carries themselves.
That's such a good point. Because what do you hear all the time? Your body is your what? Your temple. And there's a lot to that because temple means a couple different things. Obviously, it's like a place where you worship. It shows, okay, if you're made in the image of God, then maybe you should do your due diligence to take care of this vessel to honor God. But then, relating to Virgo in a way, the word temple has the root of temp, relating to time. So
Mm.
it's all temporary. And that's what virgin is too, is like, well, you're only a virgin for a time. At some time, you're going to lose your virginity. And hopefully that's the right time in the appropriate way. But like, it's like the timing is everything with it.
Guys, everyone in the YouTube chat, what's more important, body or face? All right, bros in the chat, girls in the chat, let us know what's more important, face or body.
I think for women, it's definitely going to be body.
What? You think women care about bodies?
Yeah, at least from like you even
That's
mentioned it too.
such
Like
a
you want the chest bigger than the waist. Is the V taper. If you get a V
yeah,
taper, like that is like the singular most attractive thing to women.
yeah.
Allegedly. Like I don't know anything about, but like
Yeah. So I think women care about broad shoulders, but they don't necessarily care about tonality or being toned or even really muscle mass so much, believe it or not. You know, hey, maybe I'm coping over here, but maybe I'm having some Coca Cola, but women clearly, I mean, just using our common sense, there may be a lot of women who really like certain body type, but our own lived experience should tell us that's actually rarely the case. And the higher value the woman, the less she's going to care about that. You know, all these rock stars, you got all these skinny rock stars with loads of girls when they're young, and then you see all these fat, washed up rock stars with tons of girls when they're older. So, like, that doesn't really matter. Writers, philosophers, at least modern ones, have some of the most beautiful women, girlfriends, groupies, and they rarely take care of themselves. But women are vain, but not that type of vain. like you know, the type of woman who sees like Arnold Schwarzenegger come around the corner and it's like, ooh, like that's like trash, basically, you know.
Yeah, I mean that's even a meme with the gym bros is people who lift a lot, they'll get
Oh, dude.
compliments from dudes more than they will with women all the
Yep.
time.
And dude, I can tell you for a fact because they talk to me. I mean, I've got tons of Gym Bro fans and subscribers too, supporters. No one struggles with women more than guys who go to the gym. They always tell you like, "Oh, you got broken up with? Go to the gym. Everything will get better." Then why is it all the guys in the dating forums are guys in the gym? Guys in the gym, half of them are there just to meet a girl and they can't. You know, why is it so hard for guys who go to the gym to meet women? Yeah, I said it. But why is it so easy for guys who play guitar to find girls? You know.
I don't know. I've seen some dudes have obviously success. Like you go get yourself in shape, you'll definitely have an
See,
easier time finding chicks, bro. Like
a woman wants to feel safe. Yeah, and what is the ultimate safety? Being with a genius, being with someone who's talented, someone who's charismatic. You think brutality is safety? And by the way, going to the gym isn't. If you ever watch the Jersey Shore or something, you'll know that people who go to the gym a ton often can't even fight for their life. Okay, like you do reach a point where the muscles are so big that like you can't even turn around. Uh, when's the last time I went to the gym? In high school, because I was on the lacrosse team. I played lacrosse and they made us go to the gym. And I excelled. Okay. So I could bench press 225 pounds when I was in high school. I could almost bench press 250 pounds
that's
when
a
I
pretty
was in
good
high school.
bench.
It is pretty good. Okay. And I weighed a lot more in high school than I do now. I weighed at like 190 pounds, 195 pounds my senior year of high school, almost 200 pounds. And I could bench press just shy of 250. I needed a little help. I need a little help at like 240.
Yeah.
But I could bench press, what's that? 2 plates on either side. Is that 225?
Someone said back when you ate meat.
Yeah. That's not wrong. That's not wrong. That's not wrong.
Yeah.
Hey, I could bench 2 plates on either side unassisted. My freshman year, I could bench 225 in high school. Okay, and now I don't go around boasting, but that is a fact. Okay, I had a weightlifting class my freshman year where I had to lift weights, and I was on a lacrosse team my whole my whole my whole high school. So yeah, I'm a thin guy. I've always been thin, but if you force me to be in the gym for a long time, I mean, yeah, yeah, that's right. So and hey, the gym's okay. Hey, I like Play-Doh. Kids should be raised up with gymnastics and music, but you can loosely interpret those. So, sports, to me, that's enough. Sports, athletics, and lacrosse is a sport where you don't really have to like pump a lot of iron. Um, uh, Don's back. Don, you had a timeout, Don?
I was wondering who wrote that. I saw that pop through the chat. Oh my goodness. John Bernthal looking
So, thanks, Don. So, hey, I think being in shape's important. But someone said, okay, here's my comment. I can't help but think critically about this stuff. If the gym produced greater people, I'd be all for it. Okay, I'd be all for it. But it seems to consistently turn people into a very similar type of person. And I'm speaking about men, but also women.
Mhm.
They almost all turn into the same guy. They stare at themselves in the mirror. Okay. You hit a point where you start taking pictures of yourself in the mirror. Your whole life becomes the gym. Okay. And it's like, okay. But then I see a lot of these people where it doesn't even translate to them being more manly, doesn't always translate to them being a better fighter. And like I said, you watch Jersey Shore sometimes. It's like these juiced up guys can't even fight for their lives. Um, and someone said, "Oh well, women like to feel safe." Uh, you know who I feel safe with? The dudes who stormed Normandy Beach in D-Day. Bunch of scrawny 150-pound dudes. 150 pounds. That's your average for like a World War II soldier. 150 pounds, 160 maybe. Those are strong dudes. Those are dudes who could lift a boat up over their head, with a team if they needed to, and were brave and courageous. Those dudes in Vietnam, they were not really hitting the weight room back then either. Well, we didn't really win that war, but you
Mhm.
know, I think of the greatest generation. I think of like people who were actually hardcore. Did they give a shit about the gym? Not really. What has America gotten from juicing up our soldiers and having the most beefed up military in the world? We keep losing wars. We keep running away from shit, even though it's like 100 to 1, the odds every single time. We're in Afghanistan fighting people. It's like 20 dudes in the mountains, and we've got Apaches, missiles, fucking every gun and cannon and bomb in the universe, and we can't even beat like 15 dudes in the mountains. Yeah, because we're all juiced up. We're prioritizing the wrong shit. Being in the gym does not equate to warrior spirit. Sorry, I wish it did. Uh, but if it were true, our military would be, you know, and I don't want to talk shit about our military. I'm just saying that I think when people get all juiced up, this false machismo starts to happen. I like the real badasses. I like the World War II guys. And maybe we weren't fighting for the real reasons, for the right reasons, whatever. Those were the real men, charged straight into machine gun fire. Okay. They didn't give a shit how many calories they were eating or how much they were lifting or whatever. And they were strong. You should be as strong as your body weight needs you to be. You should be as strong enough to lift another man for a short amount of time, strong enough to lift up a woman, however long you need to. There are basic kind of requirements, but beyond that, it is really just vanity and dudes wanting to look at other dudes. And so I do get worked up about the gym. All right. Because I wish people prioritized other things. Okay. Yes, you can look at someone and tell how much, they work on their body. You can, it is important. You can look at someone and say, okay, are they fat? Well, that tells you something. Are they skinny? That tells you something. If they're jacked, it tells you something, but it's not really something very important. I I would rather see someone who reads so many books you can see it on their face. Okay. Who has such a power of focus and, critical thought that you can see it on their face. I value those things a lot more. And I'm not buying this whole, you know, oh, she dumped you because you didn't go to the gym. Well, then why have I been okay? Why have I been doing just fine my whole adult life? But all these dudes in the gym are like on Tinder nonstop, desperate for a girlfriend. What do you think, Merlin? Am I just a hater?
I mean, not real. Like, if I'll definitely a hater of the gym, a little bit. But I think we're all on different journeys. For some people, it's like maybe the gym is just discipline, like, okay, you go there, maybe you feel like you were wimpy in high school or earlier in life, so you're going to go there to prove that you can do it and lift some weight, which is like good for you. I mean, I agree with you personally about body weight, like I like calisthenics. Like I think push-ups and pull-ups are like the most important, like be able to like manipulate your own body. But I say lift what you want, man, personally. I think getting exercise is way better than fucking not,
Mhm.
like I'd rather deal with gym rats than tubbies,
Yeah.
by far.
And here's another thing. Training your body does increase your mental focus and clarity significant. Long ago, best to try both. Hey, now if we're talking about exercise, okay, I love exercise. Exercise is good. Why is it that dudes who are always in the gym like can barely even run a mile? They usually can't. Now, Dr. Longo's preferred method of exercise is running. I do run, I jog, okay? I try to run 2 miles as often as I can. 2 miles, I think it's important to be able to run 2 miles, you know, rather comfortably. I can do, I don't know, 5 pull-ups, maybe more. I'm not gonna over, uh, I'm not gonna over. I don't ever want to get put on the spot for that, but definitely
Do a pull-up
5.
contest.
I can do 5 for sure. I can do 30 push-ups, maybe more. Okay, and again, I think it's important to meet some minimums, meet some bare requirements, but um, being being in shape is very important. Don't be fat. Be able to run. Don't be a victim. You know what I mean? Um, and also, hey, uh, I don't think I've lost a fight. Okay, I haven't lost a fight. Last guy I fought weighed a lot more than me, so you know you don't need to. I don't think people. I think people overestimate how much muscles will help them, or kind of big, big and muscular. Um, but yeah, running's important. Long walks on the ocean, stuff like that. Hey, being in shape's super important, and I put a big value on it. Um, Going to the gym is more of like a vanity thing, more of a social club. Hey, power lifters. I've got some powerlifting friends that I respect a lot. Um, but yeah, let's be real. Okay. Girls like rock stars. They like, you know, they like athletes. Yeah, I guess they like athletes a lot too. But yeah, the gym's not the friend that people are swearing it is. It's not the cure all that people. I totally refute the notion that you know, guys get broken up with because they're not jacked or whatever. Like, no, just don't. And why is the gym always filled with talentless people? Like that's another thing. No talented person's ever spent more than an hour in a gym. You just can't. You can't. If you value your time that much, you don't go to the gym. And I'm not saying I'm one of them, but no genius has ever been like, and here we can just put it to the test, and I might even open up the phone
Let
lines.
people call in.
Name your favorite jacked genius. I'll give you as
Plato.
okay, okay, fair, fair enough. We'll talk about it.
Sorry.
Name your most jacked genius that you respect, that you just love. You think everything, like sp- mentally sound, spiritually, philosophically. There is the truth to this, you know, notion of a meathead. Yeah, I see people say. Who's your people in the chat? I'll give you as much time as you need. Who is your favorite jacked genius? Sorry, Bruce Lee's not jacked. All right. Bruce Lee is like tendony. Okay, he's not jacked.
Young Bruce Lee, we're talking?
Okay, he was jacked at one point. What movie was that where he was yoked?
This one right here? If that looks like AI as fuck.
Okay, and let's be real. That's
If that's
shredded. That's not jacked.
yeah, that is.
He's
Yeah,
shredded, not jacked.
but I feel like this is, but that's like maybe that's the modern problem. Is I think this is what jacked guys think they look like when they go too far and don't get lean enough.
Andrew Juberman, Carter. No, bro. No, bro. I think Carter's been lifting too many weights over here too. I don't know.
Oh, Carter
But
called in last week, didn't he?
yeah, he did. Andrew
Yeah.
Juberman. Okay, let's get an early life check on Andrew Huberman. Then get back to me. No, not you, Merlin.
Oh,
Carter.
all right.
Yeah, Andrew
Numbers.
Huberman's so smart. So smart to be like, oh, there's a study that says blah, blah, blah. There's a study that says blah, blah, blah. There's a study that says, oh, cool. What a genius.
He does feel very astroturfed. Like he's one of those ones that came out of nowhere with like high production quality and just like, exploded.
Let's look. Who's your most favorite jacked genius? Someone said Michael Phelps because he smokes weed. Yeah. Joe Rogan. I know you guys are just joking. I know you guys are LOLing. Logan Paul. Yep. Top G. Hey, he's up there. I'm not even kidding. He would be high up on my list because I cannot think of any. I don't know if I can think of more than 3 people who are smarter and more jacked than Andrew Tate. And I'm not trying to glaze him. Can you think of any who are jacked and smart?
Jacked and smarter than Andrew Tate.
And
Alive
guys,
today.
sorry guys, Andrew Huberman, not smart, not a genius, not even close. He's so
All
he
right.
just pulls up studies.
This
Yes, there's an interesting study out of New Mexico State that says having a fake family, having a double life, having women across the country that don't know about each other, that's really good for the world and your life. Yeah, there's an interesting study that says, yeah, convincing people to drink toilet dye is great for you. Yeah, that blue porta potty dye, that stuff's great for your brain. An interesting study coming out about these studies that all these studies are actually just studies. And no, Andrew Huberman sucks.
all right. This isn't even glazing. Smarter than Andrew Tate.
And more jacked.
Jake Shields. Because if we're talking smarter, maybe.
All right, he's a sensible guy.
He's sensible, but also far more moral too than Andrew.
Right. Well, we're not really talking about that.
But I mean, isn't that we're leaving that out of the equation completely?
Well, see,
Can you
then
be an immoral genius? Because being immoral immediately disqualify
now
you
Jake
from being a
Shields.
genius.
Jake Shields is jacked, especially when we consider he's a vegetarian, lifelong vegetarian. Can we look no Cuomo, bro? Can you search up Jake Shields so we can see what a lifelong vegetarian looks like?
Yeah.
Someone said, oh, Longo could only bench 225 when he was a meat eater. Well, I don't know. I don't think so. I think if I was stuck in a weight room for a year, vegetarian, I think the same thing would happen. But Jake Shields is a lifelong vegetarian. He's not the hugest guy ever, but he's got big arms. I mean, even for a guy his size, he's got thick arms.
Yeah, and to make your point, like, do you need more muscle than that? Is more muscle than that like practical? You know, like if we're talking again, going back to what you were saying earlier, you know, like a war, you know, like being lean is probably whatever. Everyone's got their preferences.
Nate Diaz does not have this body type. Jake Shields is way more jacked than Nate Diaz. Nate Diaz, I love Nate Diaz, no offense, but he is kind of like skinny fat. Nate Diaz has like, I don't know. Nate Diaz also a long-time vegetarian.
But yeah, I don't know. The more I've done thinking about Andrew Tate and stuff, like I don't think intelligence is like the primary characteristic I'd give him, honestly.
Has anyone came up with someone who's actually jacked and smart though? Like anyone? Did anyone give like an actual candidate?
Someone said, "How is this about Virgos?" Now we're picking out jacked guys.
Chuck Norris, I mean, is he smart? And is he jacked? I mean, he's fit.
Yeah, Chuck Norris wasn't really jacked.
Yeah, I think people play. Okay, so yeah, you brought up Plater. You brought up Plato. Plater.
Plater.
My Appalachian accent. Plater.
Plater.
So Plato, the nickname Plato, I think that's a nickname, and I think it means broad. So not necessarily jacked, Merlin. All right, let's slow down on that. Plato means broad. What does the name mean?
Robust, or the breadth of his style. I just brought it up because there's that myth that allegedly Plato, if he was like in a debate and the other guy was just full of shit, Plato would just allegedly take off his shirt and just flex at the dude because he was like alleged to be like an Olympic athlete.
So yeah, he was a wrestler.
Right? Yeah.
He was
just flexed on people, literally.
I don't know where the flexing thing came from. I've read a lot of Plato. I don't remember that, but he is kind of talking as if he's Socrates in most of his work, like pretty much all of his works.
Yeah.
His dialogues, yeah. But yeah, I don't know where the flexing things comes from, but Plato did mean broad or wide, robust, you know, big, strong, something like that. Now, I'll tell you why I don't think he was super jacked, okay, or super shredded. I think he was probably a burly guy. I mean, he probably looked like not burly, but broad. He probably looked like a wrestler, you know. You don't really see wiry wrestlers, right? You don't really see long, skinny. It can happen, but they often have that kind of look to them, almost like they're like a block of
like a mass.
Yeah.
So
I think he was probably broad-shouldered, big guy, more of a blocky body type, face type. But when he talks about guys, or like young guys, you know, youths, you know, when he starts kind of talking sus, okay, he'll talk about muscles, and he'll talk about how it's better to have, you know, more of a medium-sized body that's very fit, you know, and I think he gives flat out statements to the effect of being too big or too muscular is not really a good thing, you know. Like, I know, for example, one of his dialogues is about heavy armor versus light armor, you know, and it's kind of an allegory for other things, but he's instructing one of his friends who's deciding whether to train their son or a younger guy in heavy armor or, you know, smaller, lighter armor. So I know Plato talks about body types at least, you know, a couple times. And it seems he was advocating more, not as much for just being as jacked as possible. So who knows? Hey, if you're right, if he was jacked, then you win and you're right. if he was jacked, and he is. If he's the smartest most jacked guy there is, then awesome. And I think we already knew that. I think we already knew that about Plato, right? Like Plato is one of the smartest people ever. He had a big emphasis on being physically fit too. There's definitely a chance he was jacked AF, and he might have been maxed out in both areas. So I'll take Plato. Okay. Who else though? And remember, it's a maybe on Plato. Definitely an athlete, definitely a big, broad guy in some way. But
He may
we'll
have
see.
never existed, really. We don't even know if Plato is real, man.
Mm-hmm.
So at the end of the day, it's all speculation.
But again, yeah, likely that he was a muscular guy, but we don't know for sure. But I'll take it. Okay, love that. Plato definitely counts. Who else though? Is Andrew Huberman really the best we can do with actual living people? I genuinely think this kind of goes back to Gemini a little bit. Gemini rules intellect, the mind, thoughts, thinking power, but also the arms and the
Mhm.
biceps. The biceps too. Um, I genuinely believe your biceps can only get so big before they start subtracting, taking away from your mental power. I'd fully believe that. Because why is there no such thing as someone with huge arms who's also smart?
Sorry, my cat was on my mouse pad attacking on the mouse as you were saying that. So jacked and smart, not the like, correlation between Gemini and Virgo. That's interesting.
Christopher Langan, is he the smartest, the highest IQ guy? Is he jacked? Okay, we might be onto something here.
No, no, he's not.
He's like fat, yeah.
Fucking got
He's
him, chat.
it looks no, it looks like he did lift a lot, but yeah, he's
Oh,
not
back in
like
the day.
he's more like a burly guy. He's not like I could be wrong, but the pictures I'm seeing, he just looks like bear shaped. He's not like the Rock, Dwayne the
Oh
Rock
yeah.
Johnson.
Oh, he did lift. Okay, look at that.
He's big, but sorry, I'm not calling that jacked. All right. I'm not calling that jacked. Push ups. Who else is smart? Tito Ortiz. That's funny. Chris Langan. He's smart. Definitely smart. Don't know if he qualifies as jacked, though. Being able to lift heavy weight, believe it or not, is not, to me, that's not being jacked. Being jacked is like your muscles are popping off your body. And being fat really makes it harder to be fully qualified as jacked. It's like being fat and being a girl and having big ass and big tits. It's like, well, yeah, you're fat. You know,
True. Yeah.
duh.
And that's like the worst stereotype of like when you think of like gym stereotypes is like the dude who's just like fat but lifts a lot and is like gaining mass constantly, but it's not going well.
Vladimir Putin. Someone said, I don't know if he's jacked or smart.
You never seen Putin riding the horse, bro? The shirtless Putin pics.
He's kind of dad bod maxing there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, Someone said Gerard Butler. Maybe. I mean, but I'm not seeing many smarter people than him on this list. Just came here from your video with Aaron and James on the Jesus Way podcast. Well, sorry, you might be jumping in on the wrong show. We're kind of shooting from the hip, and yeah, we're
Is that a new one you did? The Jesus Way
No,
podcast?
I don't think so. No, it's an older one.
Okay.
But yeah, we're not exactly spreading love and light right now, so forgive me. Dolph Lundgren. Okay. Now we're on to something. He definitely was jacked and definitely pretty smart. But how hard did he have to work for the smart stuff? Like, okay, so Dolph Lundgren and Plato. We've only got two smart people ever that were jacked. Jeff Bezos is huge. Yeah, I don't think he's that smart either. He probably just took roids, so it doesn't count.
Why is that door always open? That's just I'm in my house, man. This is my house, so I can leave the door open. It's like it's all mine, man.
Sean Connery not jacked. Sorry. Andre the Giant not jacked. The Rock not smart. Devin Larratt, is he smart?
I don't even know who that is.
Someone said John Bernthal. Yeah, sorry guys. I mean, we tried, but there's only two jacked geniuses ever of all time. Plato and Dolph Lundgren. That is our exhaustive list. Concise, exhaustive list.
We've checked everybody.
Yep. We checked. No stone left unturned.
Trust the experts, folks. Come back next week for your booster to see if we found anything else.
Devin Lara doesn't count. He's not. How do we know he's smart? He's not smart. Schwarzenegger's not smart. The Dave Chappelle, that's a fake Dave Chappelle. We already know that. That's not the real Dave Chappelle. Okay.
Want to get back on some Virgo?
Nah.
Yeah.
Let's tee off on Sydney Sweeney for a sec. So Zendaya, okay, this is just I love getting proven right. Okay, Virgo is the most mid sign in the world. Sydney Sweeney is also a Virgo. Zendaya and Sydney Sweeney are both the same sign. And they're both mid as hell and held up as if they're like beauty figures. Yeah, let's see that, Merlin. Let's see your Sydney Sweeney impression.
Dude, you think Sydney Sweeney is mid? Bro?
Wait, you weren't just agreeing with me and doing a Sydney Sweeney impression?
No, I was.
So what were you doing that? What were you doing this for?
That was me being shocked.
That isn't your
shocked.
That isn't your Sydney Sweeney impersonation?
No, it's not. No, it's not. No, that was shocked. I mean, dude, like
Sydney Sweeney.
You don't think she's at least an 8? Because like if we're saying mid, that's mathematically a 5.
Sydney Sweeney is a fucking 2.
What are you doing, dude?
A hard 2. A hard 2.
A hard 2. On what scale, man? Like literally on what scale mathematically is that a 2?
If I were single and she approached me and there was no one around to judge me for my decision, I would still say no. Okay. I would say no, thanks. Stop talking to me. Get away. Okay. That's how you got to treat these bitches too. Like you're okay, you live in a universe where that's more than a 5.
Yes.
Then you live in a prison.
I don't feel like it.
You have succumbed to the matriarchy. Okay.
How so?
I live too close to Plato's objective realm of the forms to ever call this beautiful. She is.
Nice face.
Oh,
Nice hair.
that makes me gay because I don't think that makes me gay because I don't think a pile of fucking horse manure is good looking. She has the droopiest face ever. She looks like Andrew Wilson. Okay, she looks like Andrew Wilson.
She looks like Andrew Wilson.
Right there, she looks like she has Down syndrome.
She's got a little bit of asymmetry in the eyelid at that moment.
Dude, why she looks so sleepy? Why
Maybe
she
she's
so
tired.
sleepy?
Maybe she needs a nap.
Yeah, that sperm was so tired it barely made it to the egg, and now we're suffering. All right. Sydney Sweeney is so mid it's not even funny. And she's exactly who I was talking about not having a good body because she won't stand up straight. Okay. And don't
So
even
she
get
doesn't have a good
don't
body
even
either.
yeah. Yep. You heard it. You heard it.
Yes, she's
See,
you're right, dude.
Are
She's
you
a
low
1.
IQ?
She's not a 2. She's a
Are you
1, bro. Yes,
are you a
I'm
low
low
IQ?
IQ. I'm the
Are you a
lowest
low
Gemini. I'm
IQ
the lowest
tit
IQ
cell?
Gemini to ever live. You're right.
You're a low
She's a
IQ
2.
tit cell, and I'm not.
It's
You're a tit cell, and I'm not having it. All
it's
right.
not even just her breasts, dude. She has a nice figure, man, and a nice face.
No. It's that easy. All the devil has to do is slap a pair of tits onto a fucking crocodile, and Merlin would call it beautiful. All right.
I think it's more like that God had a hand in that than the devil did. Personally, that's just me.
No,
And I think I speak for chat. I think chat
no.
is on my side.
It is low IQ. It is
oh my gosh!
It is scarcity mindset. It is poverty mindset to think that boobs are like the end all be all of.
I don't think boobs are the end all be all.
No,
do they hurt?
You're
No,
acting like it makes up for. This is a lot to make up for, and the boobs are not taking it all.
The whole thing.
All right.
Like what's bad? She's not fat. Like what? Like
her,
what? Like
her.
Is it her knees?
Her shoulders are far too wide. Okay. And you may not be able to tell because her tits are disgustingly huge. Okay. I'll just be honest. That's disgusting. That's
disgusting.
Her tits are pretty much almost at the too big mark. Okay. I'll be honest. For that small of a human, look at her fucking elbows and look at her boobs. Okay.
Yes.
And let's be honest. Search her in a bikini. Sydney Sweeney bikini, and I'll tell you what we're really
corrupting my search history, dude.
Yep. Okay, you tell me. Okay, she's way too stubby. She has like no neck. Her arms are super short. Her mid area is way too short. She's not lithe and long and model-like and beautiful. Okay. This lady wouldn't. Okay, this little hobgoblin wouldn't make it past Harvey Weinstein's front desk. Her and Zendaya are exactly what heroes like Harvey Weinstein were protecting us.
Protecting us from. Dude. Oh no!
Someone said you don't like curvy girls. I love curvy girls. Okay. I love curvy girls, but she looks like a rotisserie chicken on a spit. All right. Her proportions are just not right to me.
You know what?
Too small. Her shoulders are too broad. Her waist is too wide. Her knees are too skinny compared to her waist. She does not have an athletic, beautiful build. Sorry.
Well, dang, just I guess leave her for everybody else, man.
Okay. Now, yeah, you can have her. She's got that weird chipmunk, droopy alcohol. She's got fetal alcohol syndrome. Let's just call it what it is.
Fetal alcohol syndrome.
Yep.
All right. Hey. To each their own.
She's just too wide and short. Okay. Not. Yeah. Speaking of Virgos, okay, since to prove I'm not gay here, okay, you know who is beautiful in a Virgo?
Who? Blake
Can't.
Lively?
She's pretty. She's okay. She's a little too dumb in the face for me, but she's pretty. Cameron Diaz. Okay, that's a Virgo woman. All right. Cameron Diaz in her prime, tall, long, beautiful. Okay.
Dude, have you ever
She looks.
seen
She's a
there's
little
some
blown. She's a little blown out now, but her when she was younger, like late '90s.
have you seen There's Something About Mary?
I don't think so. What's that one?
That's a comedy back in the day. I think is Adam Sandler no, it's not Adam Sandler. It's the other guy. Same vein. One of those guys who made a whole bunch of comedies.
Search Cameron Diaz in the '90s. All right. That's
Yeah,
beautiful.
she was smoking. That's why her last name's Diaz. She's a fucking
Right there.
10.
Top, the one you just no.
Oh.
Well, that one's good too.
This one right here?
That one.
Yeah,
Come
smoking.
on. You can't even put Sydney Sweeney in the same universe as that. All right. Sydney Sweeney's so droopy and short and just ugly. Like she could play a hot hobbit if she was lucky. Okay. Cameron Diaz.
She's pretty good looking.
One sec.
Yeah, I'm gonna look up who was in Something About Mary. Why am I blanking on it? Ben Stiller. It was a Ben Stiller flick. There we go. Yeah, classic.
So Cameron Diaz in the '90s, peak beauty. Who else? Okay. Who's the most beautiful girl ever? Or like movie stars, you know? Ferris Bueller's Day Off. The girl in Ferris Bueller's Day Off, Sloane.
I don't know her name. Let me go look it up. Sloane. Oh, the chick from that?
Yeah.
Okay.
She's kind of making some funny faces right there. The one you were just, yeah, that one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, zoom in on that. Or just, come on. She's beautiful.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's a Virgo?
She's got brown eyes, brown hair. Not my thing. Not my thing. I don't know if she's a Virgo. I don't think so. Let me see.
You know, God bless you, Alfred. He said his wife is beautiful with no makeup. That's all you need. Absolutely, man.
Oh.
Absolutely.
Mia Sarah. No, she's a Gemini. She looks like a Gemini too. So Mia Sarah. Okay, I'd put her. That's like up there. Now look up. Hang on. Who's the girl from? Oh, Natasha Meckel. Natasha McElhenney. McElhone. I don't know how to say her last name.
McElhone?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, yeah. She was in Californication, bro. Oh my gosh,
But
yeah.
when she's younger, okay, she looks kind of blown out now too. She looks.
Oh, look, everyone ages, man. Let's be nice.
No,
no, Natasha's beautiful.
her in the
sure.
'90s.
Yeah.
Okay, and then yeah, who those three are like, I think the most beautiful actresses that I remember off the top of my head. Olivia Wilde. She's kind of like crazy, and but in recent times, she's kind of got like a weird face too. But her like 15 years ago. Don't click on that one. We'll get demonetized.
Oh yeah, I didn't even have my mouse just sitting there. Yeah. Yeah. Oh wow, that's super super translucent.
Yeah. Her face is like a little too much though. It's like a little too much. A little too.
She has the really intense eyes that are like a bit like
Yeah.
Piscean.
But then also, you ever watch Doomsday, the vampire werewolf movie?
No.
Okay, search Doomsday vampire movie.
Doomsday.
I know. Wait. Well, sorry. She's hot too. The Doom. I'm thinking of Underworld though.
Oh yeah,
Underworld.
Underworld. Oh yeah.
Underworld.
That's the same chick from the Pirates movie.
No.
No.
No. Keira Knightley, not that hot. Sorry. But the girl from Underworld, who's that?
That's not Keira Knightley in Underworld.
Kate Beckinsale.
Oh, that's right. Yep.
Colin Gooch on it. Kate Beckinsale. Again, this is not my type at all, but she's like undeniably super hot. Kate Beckinsale in that role though.
Are we just listing hot chicks now? Is that where
Yeah.
this is going? Just to prove you're not gay? After Sydney Sweeney comments.
I mean, I think we proved my point. I mean, Sydney Sweeney's not even come on, guys, let's be honest. When we look at these women, Sydney Sweeney is not even remotely in the same conversation as any of these women. And it's not just a height thing. It's not just about being tall. Like, Sydney Sweeney is ugly. She's literally ugly. I'm not saying this to tear people down. All the girls out there who think Sydney Sweeney's like the peak of beauty, not true. You're probably a lot closer to her than you think. You might even be better looking than her. Sydney Sweeney is ugly, like bad ugly. And it's like it's an encapsulation of how our society is fucking like vomiting all over itself and not even thinking anything's wrong. Okay. To call someone that ugly beautiful and to give her so many millions of dollars for being ugly is a sign of the end times. Okay. Like Sydney Sweeney being called hot, it's a sign of the end times. Okay. Like I said, Zendaya is making me rethink the whole Bible thing. All right. Zendaya's face getting called beautiful is shaking my faith in ways nothing else ever has.
Were you also not a Kate Upton fan?
Nope. Hell no. Hell. She is fuck ugly.
Gosh, dude.
Again,
right.
you with the tits. You with the tits.
It's not even about the tits, dude.
You
it has
with the
nothing to
tits.
do with it.
It's
It's
insane.
about like
That fucking
beautiful
easy.
blonde hair, beautiful face. Like
That
what's
fucking
the
easy.
issue? It's not that.
Not beautiful. Probably not even actually blonde. And she has udders. That's it. Udders. She's chubby in the mid region, which I don't like. Okay. Sorry.
All right. You're on record with that one. That one's going in the archives.
Here, we didn't check on the. All right, people. So 59%, they're still voting. 59% said face. So not face won, but not by a lot. Kate Upton is not hot. She's mid. She's pretty. She's not hot. I need to measure these people against their popular rating. I disagree.
I guess, but it's also like that's like a very like modern like Tinder swiping where like, oh, this person, I'm just gonna go for someone hotter, where, to be.
You just said face matters more than body to you. So are you not going to swipe based off face?
But there are lots of beautiful faces.
And
I'm not gonna be like, oh, this isn't the
here,
most beautiful
how about
face I've
this?
ever seen. This
How
she's
about
mid.
this? How about this, Merlin? I'm actually
Mm.
going, dare I say, I might even be more caring about the body more. I think is more tolerant and accepting and like I can see not I'm not trying to sound hallmarky here, but if a woman keeps herself fit, there's very little with the face that I could actually find issue with. Like, yes, I believe in loving and really liking someone's face, but at the same time, faces can be it's almost like I'm offended by a not well kept body. I'm just offended by it. Like it's disgusting. Fat people shouldn't even go outside. They should just but faces can be all over the spectrum. Like to me it's a spectrum. Like it can be I'm hesitant to call someone's face just ugly by itself
Mm.
because it just believe it or not, it may not sound like it, but I'm much more likely to look at someone's face and just be like, not for me. But you know, if I see someone who's fat, I'm gonna be like, ugh, disgusting. Like, come on, put that away. So I think to me, it's like I could almost, to put it in the most hallmarky way, I could almost find anyone's face beautiful so long as the rest of their body's following the right proportions and good posture and things like that. If they're standing up straight, if they, look squared away and fit, and I still don't like their face, I'm not going to call them ugly usually. It's usually a chain reaction of the body and the face, and just it's someone I wouldn't even entertain no matter what.
Yeah, no, I mean you're right. There's a huge connection. You got like the body, face, lifestyle, values, spirituality, relationship with God. Self confidence, self worth. All these things are all very much connected. I agree with that completely.
Someone said, "So you don't like Kate Upton body?" I haven't. I don't really remember what her body looks like, but doesn't she just have insanely huge tits and no ass whatsoever? Sorry, ladies, this is a boys' show. Okay, we need. Do you ever watch Screen Time on Scroll Center?
No. Scroll Center? I've never heard of Scroll Center.
So it's like a ESPN Sports Center show, except they're just talking about podcasters and influencers. Like they like go through people's stats as if it's like a sports show, but it's all like Logan Paul, Jake Paul, Kate Upton would be someone that they would talk about. Like, oh, her last post didn't get much engagement. She might need to think about hiring a new publicist, and they've got like the background music, and we got to do shit like that for we got to. Yeah.
We could figure something out for sure. I ruined my algorithm with these searches. Yeah, dude, I'm searching like Kate Upton bikini, dude. Oh,
Please. Oh, please. Kate Upton, let's go back to that. Okay, let's analyze that a little more.
let's
Okay.
analyze Kate Upton. Yes,
Yeah.
let's.
That is her post production with all the CGI and the airbrushing and okay. If I'm not mistaken, she has like a little bit of a belly, which not the end of the world. But her midriff to me is just like too wide, and she has no ass. Like she's just like, sorry, boobs. Boobs are boobs are for poor people. Like let's just say it. Okay? Boobs are for poor people who are afraid that their mommy's gonna stop taking care of them. Okay. Uh, you need to be so straight that you're unfazed by tits. All right. That's peak straightness, that you're not even fucking phased by that scarcity mindset. uh, so yeah, she's got yeah.
She's just not ugly though. Like no matter what part of the body is most appealing, is you don't look at that and go, "Oh, ew, oh, anything but that." It's so far from that.
Okay, you're right. That would be Sydney Sweeney.
Oh my gosh.
Sydney Sweeney's like throw up in your mouth, ugly. Kate Upton's not ugly. She's just I don't think she's anywhere near this like sex icon that people make her out to be. Who are some other ones? Oh, dude, Diane Kruger. Diane Kruger, dude. Smoking. That's like peak perfect. Diane
The
Kruger
original Heller of Troy.
Yep, Diane Kruger in Troy. Her in Troy.
Yeah, she was pretty in that movie for sure.
Yep.
The new Helen's really pretty too, right?
Nope. She looks like the shadow. She looks like Diane Kruger's shadow, the new Helen. One sec.
Oh. All right. Virgo guys. All right. What are we missing? Did we gotta go back to Virgo guys? Or did we keep going on looking at women with Longo? Man, what else with this sign? Did we listen? Oh, they're saying their goodbyes. Let's see pics of who Narco has dated. Prime Selma Hayek. Yeah, dude. Yeah. Prime,
oh no, Selma.
Movie.
Don't even get me
Another
started
one
on
you
her.
don't like?
All right. I don't care. I don't care who's
what From Dusk. There we go.
Yeah, she's mid too.
Selma Hayek's mid.
Yeah.
Man, we just have different definitions of what it means to be mid, or my standards are just so low.
She's all right. A little too torta for me.
Torta.
But, yeah. Yeah, it's good to have high standards.
I concur. I would just include Sydney Sweeney in my high standards of what I consider beautiful, but that's all right.
Not even close. Not even close.
But I do like that comment, that super chat we got earlier, that like, there's what is it? He said, what's beautiful is true, like true beauty is objective. There's a lot of truth to that. I was listening to some video earlier this week, and like the guy said, truth is a feeling as much as it is like some fact. Like there's like when you hear something true, it feels good. Just like when you see something beautiful, it feels good. So there's a strong link between truth and beauty. Oh, distractions in the shop there, folks.
It's drunk people outside fucking pissing me off.
Oh yeah, that sucks. Are there bars on the street near where your shop is?
Here, one sec.
Yeah, sure.
Ready for some drama?
Oh.
Why do you gotta keep banging on it? Just don't bother us up. But we drunk somewhere else. That's my property. Okay. I don't think you're in a good shape for that. Awesome. Thank you. Yeah, we're gonna.
I love eavesdropping. All right, the drunk buffoons have been told off. Long goes back. Playboy Cardi is a Virgo.
All right. Did you hear that?
Yeah, we heard it. We heard a good bit. Why don't you go be drunk somewhere else?
Yeah. Fucking losers.
Young kids or what?
No, they're older than me. They
really?
almost always are. See, that's the thing. That's the crazy thing is like alcohol is such an embarrassing leftover vice from the fucking Stone Age. Like kids these days don't even drink. They're done with that shit. They learned that lesson. Drinking is such caveman activity. Like it's such a boomer activity. Millennials drink. Gen Z's not drinking. Like maybe a little bit in college. No. Drinking is for such losers. It's not even funny. Okay. You know, fat people are bad. Ugly people are bad. Drinkers are the worst. People who drink should just have all. Drinking to me outweighs everything good about someone. Drinking is worse than any good they have to offer. Spare me any good someone has. If they drink, I want nothing to do with them. I always get reminded why drinkers drink, why I don't drink. Drinking is just most pathetic thing in the world. What do you think?
I mean, I'm not a drinker, but I'm not gonna lie, man. If I'm at a Mexican restaurant, I love a margarita once in a while. Like I you know what I mean? Like I'm never someone who's like, oh, I'm just alone and drinking.
Mm-hmm.
But socially, I don't know. I think like with moderation, there's something to it. But I've also gone years without drinking. But like I don't know. At least right now, presently where I'm at, like if I'm out of the restaurant, I might do a margarita if the occasion calls for it. And I got no issue with that, man. I love a good marg personally, and I think I always will. So it just is what it is. But I love a tequila. Not gonna lie.
I can understand loving that, but you know what I love even more than that?
What's up?
Is being 1,000,000% free from those pressures, from the feel like, oh, this is what we do when we go to a Mexican restaurant. Oh, we drink a martini when we go to the Italian place. We do being free from those tendencies and pressures. I love that even more, 1,000,000 times more. You can't love that enough. Being free from the breath, the slurring, the bumping into each other, the fucking plowing your car into a family of 5 that's just trying to get home. Like everything about drinking is so detestable and to try and minimalize it, to try to compartmentalize it and romanticize it in any way is so, to me, so foolish. And I hear what you say, like, hey, go to a Mexican restaurant, it's a margarita. Well, it's kind of like you go to the ball game, you get a hot dog. You go to the, how much of that is actually a vacation from life? How much of that is actually helping you, or how much of that is also just programmed, programmed responses? It's like, all right, I saw a cactus, now I order a margarita. I saw a Italian flag, now I get a martini.
Mm-hmm.
To me, that's just like total goy activities. That's just like drinking is it's the mark of someone who's spiritually suffering but also socially suffering. And I think that's the heart of the, drinking out in public is if there were no anxiety, people wouldn't drink. Drinking momentarily lessens anxiety. It's a social lubricant. And without that, there's zero value in it. And I don't even think that's a value. I think that's a cope. Alcohol is the destroyer of worlds, destroyer of civilizations. Everything the West and the white man has achieved is in spite of alcohol, not because of it at all. Alcoholics are the most pathetic people you'll ever meet. They lie more than anyone. They have more excuses than anyone. No one lives more in the past than alcoholics. No one has more guilt, yet less willpower to do something about it than alcoholics. By the way, I call an alcoholic anyone who drinks on a yearly basis is an alcoholic to me. Yeah. That
So
100%.
one drink a year makes you an alcoholic?
100%. If drinking once didn't tell you this is a bad idea, I think they're an alcoholic. Anyone who feels the need to keep on drinking, it's not a nutritional thing. I mean, we all know that, right? It's not. No one's under the impression that we need to drink to survive, right? No one's ever said, I need to drink or else I can't practice my art, even. I'll give cannabis, its credit all day long. There are musicians out there who will tell you, if I never picked up a joint, my musical career would not have happened. And I'm not saying that all their good ideas came out of the joint. I'm saying that a single joint is the catalyst to good ideas, an opening of the mind, artistically, etc. Alcohol is the nectar of losers, mopers, the depressed, the anxious, yeah.
So what's it? He hates Sweeney and booze.
Yes, and there's actually a big correlation there. Sydney Sweeney looks the way that she does because of alcohol. So you're welcome. You're welcome.
Yes.
You're welcome for me tying it all together here in a nice bow, rounding it all back to the source.
Dude, saying someone's an alcoholic for drinking once a year is a wild take.
You tell me this.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to joke around here. Tell me this.
Okay.
Who in their right mind would have vodka come into their mouth to taste and feel what the vodka does to their mouth, maybe even swallow it, and to decide to think in any universe it would be a good idea to take another drink at any time in your life? You have got to be criminally fucking insane. You've got to be so screwed up in the head to think it's a good idea. It's like tying fireworks to your feet and setting them off for fun. Like, okay, is it self-damaging for fun? I can understand that. But to keep doing it year after year when the fun has dried up, to me, that is a disease, an issue. And just forget the details. Who in their right mind would taste alcohol in their mouth and think it's a good idea to ingest it again after seeing the results?
I mean, a lot of people. I get it.
I
It's
wish
a vice.
the world, if I could free the world from one thing, flesh or alcohol, consuming the blood of other creatures or freeing mankind from alcohol, I'd choose alcohol. Okay. I'd rather hang out with a flesh eater than an alcoholic. And I know this. I already know this. This isn't a thought experiment for me. I'll rather hang out with a righteous meat eater who doesn't drink I know I'll get along with them. And then I know vegetarians and vegans who do drink. And I'm not talking about you. I know, I can
Yeah,
get
yeah,
along.
no, yeah.
I'm talking about if I had a vegetarian friend who is drinking a lot,
Mhm.
and I know they like alcohol, that's going to get in between me and them way more than eating flesh ever will. I can go out and hang out with a meat eater, no problem. But if I have a vegetarian friend who always wants to drink, always wants me to go out drinking with them, always wants to, that's like irreconcilable for me. It's alcohol. In order to speak about it positively, we have to minimize it and compartmentalize it into such small, socially enjoyable scenarios. It's such to me, it's abusive. It is abusing the English language and our concept of what's good and evil to call alcohol, to think alcohol is acceptable. I refuse to live in the matrix. I refuse to live in the fucking matrix where drinking alcohol is a good thing or normal thing. I don't care who I will never get to be friends with. I don't care. That's the matrix, and I don't need any convincing. Drinkers uphold the matrix more than anyone else.
I mean, regular drinking, if it's constant, is obviously a problem.
Why?
Why is regular drinking a problem?
Yeah.
I mean, it's just too much. It's like, okay, like you want food, right? What you don't want is too much food. So you can have
Right.
alcohol without having too much alcohol.
Right.
Like I've never, I don't.
Okay.
I'm
okay,
not,
but
I'm
I
not
can.
like go ahead.
But I can eat an infinite amount of French fries in a single night, and maybe I might land myself in the hospital. But I definitely won't get in my car and delete a family of 5 because I wanted to get home. I won't pick up a gun and forget the rules, safety rules, because I ate too many French fries. I'm not going to destroy my family. Like literally make a decision that ruins my family's lives forever because I ate too many French fries. Replace that with weed and tell me how much weed you need to smoke before it ruins your life, ruins your family lives, endangers people on the roadways. So the excess thing actually proves my point. What are you afraid of something in excess of? Why? What for? Because it has absolute lethality attached to it, because it is so dangerous that it needs to be rationed out in tiny amounts. Like rat poison. Yeah, alcohol, of course, alcohol. So the excess thing, I can get it, but how much weed before it kills someone? It's like a laughable amount.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna like police or say alcohol is good or weed's this, that, or the other, because like I don't know. It's not something to argue over. Like I don't want to. Like I'm not gonna be like, oh yeah, drinking's good for you, obviously, But like again, I hardly fucking drink, like literally ever. So I'm not trying to like be like it's the best thing ever.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I agree with you. Like if like I think clubs are worse than anything, honestly, when it comes to like the Matrix or whatever. That's a whole other story. Drinking culture, modern drinking culture, huge problems. But like if you take like your example, take the vehicle out of the equation, just this thing you can drive around and fucking kill people with, sadly, or unalive, sadly, it sucks. But like if that wasn't the thing, then like alcohol is less dangerous because like you can't operate 1,000 pounds at 80 miles an hour, right? Or 2,000 pounds. So it's like,
yeah,
it's a lot of modern problems, honestly. But like I don't know, I think under the right circumstances, like drinking can be fun. And I think like when it comes to like like masculine, dude, it's a masculine thing to be like, yo, we're getting fucked up.
No, it's the most feminine thing ever to be totally out of control, to be limp wristed, zesty. Everyone gets zesty when they get gay. Sorry, everyone gets zesty when they get drunk too. People are just weird. The people who are just outside here. I mean, they don't even know who they are. They literally don't even know where they were. Like, that's feminine. That's chaotic. That is Shakti. That's just like tuning out and letting the forces take your body over. And you tell me, is all the fun, all the little social, cute little moments at the bar, are they worth the alcoholics? Are they worth the families with alcoholic fathers? Are they worth the DUIs? Are they worth, the guy who broke into our bookstore here, whose main drug of choice is alcohol, not anything else? And I mean that. The guy who broke into our bookstore here, his main thing is drinking.
Yeah.
Drinkers, all these drug addicts on the street, they'll all drink. That's the one thing they all have in common. Some of them don't like to inject, some of them don't like to smoke. They'll all drink. Drinking scratches that itch that they're all trying to itch. That's something I don't like. And I will not tolerate comparisons between marijuana and alcohol. Sorry, Carter. Okay. The list of geniuses who directly credit marijuana with helping them. And I'm not saying all their good ideas came out of the weed. I'm saying coming into contact with weed set them on a trajectory that was more conducive to the artistic genius, producing good music for decades and decades. And then maybe they get away from the weed. I'm not saying the weed's like a lifelong, vitamin that gives them genius. I'm saying just coming into contact with weed briefly sets you up for success if you're in the right industry. Okay.
For sure.
Alcohol, it's in spite of the alcohol. Like, show me the greatest alcohol mind in the world. Bukowski, Hemingway. Like, yeah, these guys are fucking nihilistic, dark. I'm mostly talking about Bukowski. You want to see what alcohol thinks like and talks like? Go read some Bukowski. Yeah. Eternally down on his luck, depressed, fucking guilty, worst type of humor ever, self-deprecating. Yeah, go read some Bukowski. You want to see the virtues of alcoholism. Bob Marley over here and fucking Charles Bukowski on the other end of the spectrum. Like, you can't smoke enough weed to make someone not creative. You can drink enough in a single night. You can drink enough to make yourself useless. Whatever. I hate alcohol so much. I have to deal with people like this.
True.
I've had a lot of alcoholics in my family. Drinking alcohol to me is alcoholism. Drinking it once a year is alcoholism. It's the societal disease. It is the matrix that it's somehow expected of you, or that it'll somehow make your life better. And if people never want to touch weed ever, okay, perfect. Awesome. I think you might be missing out on something, but
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you. Like, obviously, overall, alcohol, does a lot of damage. And if you think about it too, like in terms of the art that alcohol produces, who are some famous alcoholic artists? Stephen King. Demonic shit coming from Stephen King due to a lot of like alcohol-induced fever dreams. Basically, him writing some shit. So yeah, no, there's a lot to it for sure. But whatever. It's just like ice cream, right? It's like, is ice cream worth all of the diabetics? It's like, yeah, because I can have a little bit and be okay, whereas someone else can't. You know what I mean? So it's like, that's how I feel with alcohol. But I agree with you completely. As like an overall and the way society treats it, no es bueno.
Yeah, I like excess. Excess is a good, kind of almost a good measure of things. Have you heard this saying? I'm gonna mess it up, but the fuck, what is it? enlightenment. Excess is like the last stop before enlightenment. Or excess is kind of is the quick track, the fast track to enlightenment, because you can see through the illusion of wealth and money. It's easier to see through it when you've already won the game. Like you hear all these celebrities say the same thing. Oh, I wanted to get rich and famous, and then I realized getting rich and famous is not important. It's not fulfilling, right? Whatever, blah blah blah. Virgo rules temperance, so I guess a lot of what we talked about, does fall in to Virgo.
True, yeah. Because
So,
Virgo,
people started people started tipping when we started roasting Sydney Sweeney or whatever.
nice.
Channel 6 news guy with the $5 says one bro is analyzing
Yep.
subjectively, other bro objectively. I'm gonna stop by the store soon. Y'all recognize me. Lobe, you guys. These streams make me okay. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Channel 6 news guy with the $2 says, I am alcoholic and he is correct. Love you, bros. I knew it.
Love you too, man.
An honest doubter with the $2 says, who's worse, daily meat eater or light drinker? Well, you didn't say that the light drinker is vegetarian, so I'll choose.
Implied?
It's kind of implied, but I'll take the daily meat eater. But yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Hey, you know who I do like? Keanu Reeves. I've got nothing but good things to say about Keanu. I'm on the Keanu bandwagon. Nothing bad to say about him. He's got a great work ethic. If you want to see Virgo work ethic, watch Keanu Reeves. Look at how he practices for the gun movies, like how he trains with all the guns behind the scenes. All the people that he trained with say, oh, he's the best celebrity we've ever worked with. He shot like he's a pro, oh, he came in before he was supposed to and left it, after he was supposed to leave. Keanu, great work ethic. He is known for being invested and selfless and stuff like that. Very, very, very Virgo. Totally.
Yeah. He's I mean, let's check his chart. Let's see what sticks out in his chart. Does he have more going on in Virgo than just the sun? Interesting. That's right in the ascendant too. Check that out. Right. I mean, I would consider that first house like on the ascendant. Honestly, with that cusp, it's close enough. Mercury, Uranus, and Pluto all right there. Holy shit. Yeah, Mercury and Uranus right on top of the sun in Virgo. That's the fact that Mercury is on top of the sun's incredible, and exaltation and domicile right there. That's really good. Incredible on the fucking AC too. That's nuts. Nice 11th house cusp moon. He's well liked. That makes perfect sense. Does a lot for his family. That makes perfect sense. And then look at that, Venus and Mars together in Cancer. Interesting. Mars not so happy there, but Venus really balances it out.
I know you might not like this, but Pluto right on the ascendant, he has this revolutionary icon status. The Matrix, like he is Neo, Yeah. He's like the fucking Jesus of the 21st century. Like Neo, Keanu Reeves is this revolutionary in a sense. What other movies has he been in?
Let's check his IMDb.
Point Break is pretty Plutonian too. To me, Plutonian skaters are kind of Plutonian. It's like radical, bro, shred, dude. Like this kind of, I don't know. But He's kind of got this like counterculture, revolutionary thing with The Matrix and a couple other movies. Like he redeems the world, comes back up from the underground. Undercover is a Plutonian thing too, being like an undercover cop, underground, underworld.
He just did something called Dog Star. There's a little Pluto connection for you.
Isn't that the name of his band, Dog Star?
It might be, yeah, because it says Dog Star all in now music video on the IMDb credits. So yeah, that's his band.
Yeah.
With Robert Mailhouse. What kind of?
And here's another thing. You want to know the most Virgo thing ever? Okay. Being an A-list celebrity and not using it to promote your band. Okay. You know what I mean? Like, how many people even know that he's in a band? And it's not like a gimmick where he like joined the band after. Like, apparently he was in the band before he got famous, and they kept playing. And he never like tries to promote the band with his celebrity, saying like, "Hey guys, it's Keanu. Go check out my new band. What's up, guys? It's Keanu. Just finished up on set, heading over to band practice."
Oh, he plays bass apparently? Oh, shit. Longo just dipped. StreamYard does that sometimes. It has like weird hiccups. If you guys see hiccups on your end, it's because like sometimes StreamYard just fucking hiccups on our end and it's not even us doing it. All right, Keanu's chart. Oh, he's calling me. I'll tell him. Yo, you're on speakerphone with the stream.
Hey, yeah, my computer died. Do you have the option to end the stream?
Do I have the option to end the stream? I don't. I can leave studio. I can.
All right.
Yeah, I can't end stream.
Just gotta wait for my computer to turn back on.
No sweat. Yeah, I just gotta leave studio option. I'm holding it down. But they can hear you. Can you guys hear him okay on the phone? On chat? But I can also take you off phone and just like wrap it up and I could play some music. Oh, I can't play any music. Mars Sun people have intense relationship with father. Interesting. That's pretty cool. I would look at that more house-wise, but that's pretty cool. Yeah, they can hear you.
Guys, this is fucked up. They started filming Jersey Shore with a new cast.
What? I mean, well, yeah, the old cast is now old. Like, we're mid-30s now, bro.
No, they're older than that. They're like 40s.
I mean, like, they're about my age. Oh, shit, my cat just parkoured into the wall. How old is Snooki? What, you don't think Snooki's hot either, Longo?
Hell no.
Yo, guys, Longo just said Snooki's a 10. You guys heard him on speaker, right?
Nope.
Yeah, he said Snooki is a 10. He would do anything for Snooki. Anyway, she was born, when was she? 87. Yeah, no, she's 39. So they're almost 40 now. They're almost 40.
We have the same birthday, me and Snooki.
Oh, someone said look at Sydney Sweeney's birth chart. Okay, let's see what's up with Sydney.
No.
Okay, yeah, Long will give us the go-ahead to look at Sydney Sweeney's birth chart. Oh, she's a Scorpio rising, which is why Longo finds her so sexy, because the Scorpio's sex appeal is just so undeniable. She's so steamy. So Sydney Sweeney, very left side dominated chart. Very left side dominated. No, Sun on the North Node in Virgo. That's actually crazy. Mars in Scorpio on the ascendant is so strong too, which is why if we're talking like, okay, let's not analyze Sydney Sweeney from the lens of like, you know, hot or not. Let's look at how the cultural zeitgeist is looking at her, which is she's known as a sex symbol and she's a Scorpio rising with Mars on the ascendant. That is, there's a lot. There's very hot planet, hot sign on the AC. What does that mean? I'm side-eyeing her chart right now. Oh gosh. So what happened, Longo? Your computer just like booted? Was it an electrical problem or like the computer
It
just
died. It was low battery.
Oh,
Said 4%, but I should have plugged it.
Gotcha. Well, chat's having a good time. Mars is a curvy body. Yeah, Mars in the first house. That's interesting. If Mars gives a curvy body, the first house would definitely do the trick.
House. Who's that? Sydney Sweeney?
Yeah, well, it's like
Her face is so fucking red.
It's technically in the 12th house, but we would consider it first just because it's on the ascendant cusps within 5 degrees. So it's definitely like more on the AC than in the 12th. So yeah, see, so that's why her face is so red.
Yeah, Mars in the first house or Mars in the ascendant brings redness or.
All right, and Longo, Sydney Sweeney is definitely not back up on the screen right now, so you can rest easy. All right, what other chart should we look at that's Virgo? Someone in chat throw something out if you want. Imagine waking up with Snookster. Yeah, you wake up, you turn over, and Snooky's in bed next to you. Snooky. Hey, I'm not going to shit talk anybody. Snooky was cute back in the day. She wasn't awful at all. Paul Walker's a Virgo. Ladies love Paul Walker. That's for sure. Sun first house, Mercury first house. Interesting. Do you have a Mac or do you have a PC? Mac.
Of course, because I'm not a slave.
You're not a slave, bro? If you weren't a slave, I'm going to switch to Linux soon, bro. I don't know, man. It's like Linux is an operating system that runs on, you know, like AMD and Intel processors and shit. So it's a non-paused is the best way to put it.
Here, I'm back in.
I'll show you.
No, sorry about that. So, Paul Walker, hey, I wish we could have talked about him. I got good things to say about him. Freddie Mercury.
Say it.
Don't really like him. Sorry. Adam Sandler, he's funny. He lives down the street from me, actually.
Really?
Yeah, from where I grew up. He's very Virgo, though. He's totally Virgo, very vanilla. Blake Lively, definitely not a smart Virgo, but we still love her. You know who's very very Virgo? The girl from Shameless.
Oh, Emily Rossum?
Yeah. She's super Virgo.
Emma Rossum?
She has the quintessential Virgo look. Yeah, that's her. Yeah.
Yeah, she's beautiful too. 100%.
She's alright.
Honestly, that one I could agree with. Far from ugly though. Like I don't know. Like again, like it's just like once you hit beautiful, it's like just different flavors of beauty. I think personally, that's just how I look at it. You know, whereas you see different flavors of mid, unless it's a 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
But she's a Virgo?
Yes. I believe so.
September 12th. Yeah, look at that. Okay. 39 now.
She's very Virgo, and her whole, I mean, I'm mainly just going off Shameless, but it's like Virgo. She's service to others, you know, living for others. She's the sibling who's raising her younger siblings, forced into a motherhood position. She is all about work ethic, working, you know. Yeah, very Virgo character there. But yeah, Tom Hardy, I thought he was a Cancer, but I guess not. Don't like him at all.
Didn't like him as Bane?
No, he's way too short.
He is a pretty short Bane, that's for sure.
Yeah.
I was born in it.
Yeah, it's like all voice.
You think you?
See, isn't that something when someone's best role is when their face is literally obscured and their voice is obscured and they're filmed in a way that it doesn't even look like them. Like if that's someone's best role, then I don't think they're that good.
Is that his best role? I don't know. I feel like Tom Hardy had like a lot of female friends. I thought he was like known for being a good-looking guy. Am I incorrect in that?
There was definitely a window of time where Tom Hardy was like considered one of the best looking
Yeah.
men in the world. But it was a very short amount of time. And have you ever seen that meme where it's like English people are only good looking for 2 or 3 years max?
No,
You ever
I'm
see-
not.
You ever seen that? It's true. Tom Hardy, he looks so bad now. Like, just looks bad. But whatever.
Does he now? I remember he was in the movie Bronson, which was fucking. I never watched the whole thing. That I remember being that whole story with Charles Bronson's fucking wild. What's his name? Tom Hardy.
Yeah.
He doesn't. He just looks like shit now. All right.
Kinda. Yeah, he looks really old.
All right. Well, you get old, man. It's the way it goes. Happens to all of us long ago.
Yeah, not me. Not in the Garden of
Shit.
Eden.
You
Not the-
better hope not, bro.
Not in the Fountain of Youth. Just watch.
Jimmy Fallon. There's a great Virgo.
Yep, he looks like a Virgo. Very Virgo. See, he's got like that Virgo humor where like he's cracking jokes nonstop, but none of them really go that deep. You know, it's like all very surface level, very vanilla, very palatable. Wiz Khalifa. No offense, Wiz. I love his stuff. I love that he raps about something other than murdering people. But very repetitive, very vanilla.
Stephen King's a Virgo too. How fucking crazy is that? Sick, man.
Something with Virgos, something the Virgos often have is a very wide and thin mouth.
Mm.
Cameron Diaz, Emmy Rossum, Jimmy Fallon. They have this like flat, almost like the Canadians from South Park. It's like a flat, just like
even Amy Poehler here. It looks like like a wideness of
a wide, flat mouth. I think Ludacris a Virgo.
Luda. Yeah. So he was born on 9/11.
Yep. Steven Tyler, I think he's an Aries, but he's got that mouth. Virgos have
McGowan's very pretty. Little Yachty. Do you know who Little Yachty is? I don't know rap like you do.
No.
You
like I do. I don't know rap.
You know him more than I do, man.
Jigga, please. You think I know rap?
Yeah, man. I thought it was your main genre.
Hell no. Fuck no. Play the guitar.
Hey, man, you close and open your streams to some rap.
Those are some that's Aboriginal American music. Okay.
Dude, Karina Kapoor Khan is a Virgo?
Who's that?
I have no fucking idea who that is.
KKK, you mean?
Oh, her name is actually KKK. That is crazy.
Thanks.
Tim Burton's a Virgo.
India.
You a Tim Burton movie fan or nah?
No.
Doesn't like Edward Scissorhands.
Hell no.
Oh, dude, Alexis Bledel is a great Virgo. If you ever seen Gilmore Girls, don't judge me, long ago. I grew up with it. I was 11, all right, when Gilmore Girls came out. But like Rory from Gilmore Girls, fucking Virgo. That's Virgo casting. As Alexis Bledel as Rory is like super fucking astrological casting.
Tyler Perry. Something about Virgos where they're like the least funny comedians ever, I guess, maybe. Tyler Perry, Jimmy Fallon. But all right. We're pretty much at 3 hours here. Guys, go subscribe to Merlin's channel, Wise Wizard Merlin with a Z. Wise with a Z. Merlin, what are you up to? Any upcoming videos or recent things we should check out?
Right now, until it's done, it's all just talk. So nothing recent, but stuff's coming down the pipeline as I find myself with more time in the near future, hopefully.
Chill, yeah.
How about you?
All right. Just chipping away at the Jewish Pirates of the Caribbean, and yeah, I'm doing a lot of other people's shows like week to week.
That's awesome. Nothing you could talk about just yet. Oh shit! Shem has entered the chat. The actual Shem is in
Is
the chat, I
that
believe.
real? Is that real, Shem?
I don't know. I want maybe.
Holy shit. Shem, is that you?
Shem, blink twice if you're okay. Shelia. He said Ola. Nice. Yeah, if you guys haven't subscribed, I think that's Shem's new channel.
Yeah, Virgo is the most NPC sign. Let's just be straight up. Virgo, I'm not even kidding, is the most NPC sign. Sorry. Virgo and Cancer, they're the most NPC signs.
That makes sense. If someone's by the book, they're doing things by the book. That means they're giving up their autonomy in a way, which is like NPC behavior. Yeah,
programmed. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tartarian Truth. It's good to see you, Shem. Wonder if you had to make a new channel or what. I don't know.
Is that the Tartarian Truth? Is that Shem from Tartarian Truth in the chat?
Come on, man. A little bourbon in my... I gotta slow it down.
Gotta put bourbon in my whiskey.
Bourbon in my coffee, okay? Dr. Longo doesn't even think alcohol is good for you, okay? Come on now.
This Tartarian Truth guy is probably using toilets like the Nephilim want him to.
Tartarian Truth, okay? All right. Guys, everyone, see you later.
Peace.
Peace.